In a ruined city with many ruined walls. The protagonist's name is Kong Tae-san with an unpleasant look on his face and is groaning in pain. He walked on the old road and complained, it was so annoying. At the same time, there was a sound of footsteps approaching. Hearing that sound, Kong Tae-san turned around and followed. He wondered, why the hell did they run here and bother everyone? Is this around Anyang area? I found him, but it seems he's no longer alive. Kong Tae-san exclaimed, they seem subjective, but... Suddenly, the beast with a ferocious expression stared towards him, making him sigh, what can I do with that deceitful guy now? At this time, the monsters kept screaming loudly. A stream of power radiated to attack him, but Kong Tae-san was not worried at all. You activate the addition, activate the increase. A sword slashed straight towards them. Return to the big spaceship. There was a constant knocking on the door. Hey, open the door. Ji Myung-gun opened the door. With friendly eyes, he raised his hand to greet. Brother, are you here too? Kong Tae-san replied. I'm sick of this. Can't you tell someone else to do this? Ji Myung-gun looked sideways and answered. You know there's no one else doing this but you. But what about the person who ran away? Kong Tae-san said coldly. He's dead. All his body parts were eaten by the beast. So, 3 A-class monsters ate him? Kong Tae-san closed his eyes. Mumbled again. So, 3 A-class monsters ate him. This made Ji Myung-gun confused and silently wondering. A-level monsters, difficult level players are also very strong. However, A-level monsters are also the same level as the player. It's dangerous to have 3 monsters surrounding you. We must quickly resolve them. Thinking of this, Ji Myung-gun quickly asked. Brother, where are they? Kong Tae-san replied. I killed them all. Ah, I understand. I didn't wait for him to finish his sentence. Kong Tae-san laughed. I'm hungry. Let's go eat. Honey, be honest with me. Actually, you're not an easy mode player, right? Kong Tae-san explained. What nonsense is that? There were many people who went through the maze with me. Why don't you ask them? Ji Myung-gun expressed. All the easy level players died except for him. No, even the players who participated occasionally died within 2 days. Really, to be honest. How could an easy level player survive in the current situation? Even average level players can barely survive. So it's strange that he was able to last until now. Ji Myung-gun wondered. How can he be so strong? I'm also a hard level player. But I'm sure I'm not right for you. These words made Kong Tae-san thoughtful. He replied. That's because you wiped them out so carelessly. Ji Myung-gun replied. See? It's that excuse again. At the restaurant at this time, Kong Tae-san arrived. He sat at the table and expressed his disgust. What the heck is that, a potato? Can't grow something else? There are sweet potatoes and corn. You know? Ji Myung-gun replied while eating. We can't do anything else when potatoes are the most effective. There is also a limit on the amount of farming too. Haven't you learned simple farming skills? How can an easy level player learn that? There is a lot of food everywhere. I'm just asking. Suddenly from the next table, there was a loud laugh. Don't make me laugh, it's impossible. Calm down, dude. Ji Myung-gun exclaimed in confusion. It seems so. Kong Tae-san continued. Looks like someone else was wiped out here again. This time, he will be placed under arrest after making such a fuss. And he will probably have to listen to a step-by-step explanation. Yes, it looks like that person is a hard mode player, right? I think you should intervene. Hey darling. Suddenly, there was a call. Tae-san, hurry up and help us. It's not just a mess. From far away, there was a loud scream. Don't make me laugh, why am I on Earth? It all ended in my last return. Lee Chang-chun shouted loudly. Is that a hidden camera? Don't play around here. Kong Tae-san stepped out and asked. What about Lee Tae-yun? She went out to scout. An old man stepped forward to advise. Young man, this is the Earth. The world has changed a lot since he was in the labyrinth. So please calm down and talk. Haven't finished speaking yet. Lee Chang-chun shouted loudly. I said don't make me laugh. Witnessing such rude actions, Kong Tae-san expressed his discomfort. I need to stop it. Ji Myung-gun replied with a smile. Just be natural. You, what if my potatoes are gone when I come back? I will kill you. Hold 2 potatoes in your hand. Ji Myung-gun couldn't help but be confused. Kong Tae-san stepped closer. Said loudly. Unfortunately, you are on Earth. And humanity is dying. Lee Chang-chun arrogantly replied, don't make me laugh, is it a habit? This can't be Earth. You have a lot of players but can't stop those monsters. Don't lie to me. Hear these words. Kong Tae-san thought to himself. It started again. A lot of players returned to Earth from the labyrinth. It's a regular occurrence and it's not something easy to accept. So there is only one way. Kong Tae-san expressed. All right. He will accept it if he gets beaten. What is your name? He requested a duel. He frowned and replied. Li Changchun. Duel. Who are you? Kante-san. Kante-san. That guy who always talks a lot on the community forum for easy mode players? It's funny. An easy mode player dares to challenge a hard mode player to a duel. Don't you know that a player's strength depends greatly on the difficulty of the level? Kante-san replied confidently. Shut up and get in here. If you win, I will show you the real world that you really want to see. Heard the challenge. Li Changchun angrily frowned and glared at him. He warned. Don't regret it later. Even if we fight to the death, you won't know. Then he activated the supplement. Half the base power has been added. Activate focus. Attacks have a high chance. Activate fierce attack. Deals significant damage on the next attack. Witnessing this scene, everyone was surprised and disgusted. Both bonus and attack are activated. That's great. After that, Li Changchun did not hesitate any longer. He immediately rushed to attack. Kante-san's first attack. Disable has been enabled. Therefore, the attack just now did not damage Kante-san. This made Li Changchun surprised. Seizing the opportunity, Li Changchun immediately pointed the sword at Kante-san. At this time, Kante-san calmly spoke. Is that all? Li Changchun thought to himself. My attack doesn't work? He nullified his first attack. I've never heard of this before. Only to see, Kante-san gently reached out to hold the blade. Then you said, now it's my power. At this moment, Kante-san thought to himself. Okay, Li Changchun's ability to recover damage received is halved. Kante-san's absolute judgment, ignoring his opponent's strength and defense skills. 49 damage to Li Changchun. Li Changchun thought, only 49 damage. That's right, the absolute difference in stats and levels between easy and hard players cannot be narrowed. Kante-san wondered, that guy, you have 10,000 stamina, right? At this time, Kante-san activates, replenishes, and doubles his current attack power. Activate boost, multiplying current attack power. Activate absolute judgment, ignoring your opponent's strength and defense skills. Seeing that, Li Changchun was scared and quickly said, hey, wait a minute. Not listening, Kante-san immediately responded and took this. He reached out and grabbed his collar. Then threw it painfully to the ground. The ground shook violently, emitting a large source of energy. There was 4,604 damage to Li Changchun. Kante-san asked, have you accepted it? This is truly Earth. As soon as he finished speaking, Li Changchun painfully dropped to the ground and replied, don't make me laugh. Why is the world like this? If I had known the world would be like this, I wouldn't have erased the labyrinth. When the world was still peaceful, one day the sky suddenly split open and a monster jumped out. And then there's a selection sent to the human. On the screen are displayed the words, easy, medium, difficult, alone. From then on, players enter the maze by choosing difficulty. It is necessary to clear the maze and return to Earth. An Earth filled with monsters will surely be destroyed. Kante-san expressed, what can you do? We need to try our best to save the world, even if it looks like this. Jiam Young-gun ran over and excitedly praised, brother, it's been so hard for you. Kante-san asked, are you here? Of course you have to come see me perform, stop talking nonsense. But he's really good, even for a difficult player, that attack still hurts. Kante-san caught the potato and replied, what's so impressive about winning against a weak guy? Jiam Young-gun expressed, not that he is weak, but that he is too strong. The food is about to get cold, that's why I don't want to go. Dude, what's with that increased skill? Absolute armor-piercing judgment, where did those skills come from? Disabling the first attack, what skill sounds like cheating? Only you have those skills, where did you get them from? Kante-san coldly replied, thank you for your hard work. Jiam Young-gun is idle, you always say that, are there other players here? It's a nice day today, I don't think so. At the same time, a beautiful girl walked out under everyone's cheers. Jiam Young-gun said, it seems like Lee Tae-yun has returned. Standing in front of the monster skeleton, Kante-san stood and looked thoughtfully, thinking that humanity was about to become extinct and she still cared about decorations. You're still addicted to these things, the outside world has all kinds of monsters raging. And she was able to completely collect a large painting like this. The only person to ever clear a game mode quickly. Why is the strongest person in the world a woman like you? Lee Tae-yun was now sitting on the chair, smiling. She raised her hand to stroke her chin and replied, these days, people must have some passion. Why don't you find yourself a hobby like me? Kante-san replied, let's talk about this when you have free time. What are you calling me for? New soldier, difficult level. You just lectured him, an easy player teaching a difficult player. No matter how you explain it, it's still strange. Lee Tae-yun is level 258, strength is 10,152. Intelligence 9,899. The target is panicking. Kante-san read this information. You wonder, are you threatening me? Lee Tae-yun replied, just checking a little, let me see your status. It's like you're healthy. Kante-san, level 57, strength 105, intelligence 100. Target is in peak condition. Lee Tae-yun exclaimed, as expected. I'm so weak that I'm sick to my stomach. Do you want to have a match? I said this is just a test. But compared to an easy level player, he's pretty good. The maze is divided into 4 difficulty levels. The moment the player completes a maze, all evolution stops. This makes it impossible to become stronger. Competing for strength between different difficulty levels is huge. The stats of a moderately difficult player are higher than Tae-san's. However, none of them could block even a single blow from Tae-san. The reason lies in the skills that Tae-san possesses. Please stand still. At this time, Lee Tae-yun activates Lee Tae-yun's additional skill. Adds half base attack power. Activating Lee Tae-yun's increased skill doubles attack power. Activate Lee Tae-yun's all-hit skill. The next attack will definitely hit the target. You can achieve every skill no matter the difficulty. And every skill that Tae-san possesses. Kang Tae-san's eyes were thoughtful at this time and said nothing. He calmly stood and endured Lee Tae-yun's blow. After a while of not seeing any movement, he slowly opened his eyes. Kang Tae-san wondered, what are you doing? Then, activate the skill that disables Kang Tae-san's first attack. Tae-san takes 0 damage. Lee Tae-yun calmly replied, it's nothing. Completely neutralizes attacks, absolute judgment, multi-layered attacks, mini time stop. All ridiculously strong skills. You have about 200 skills, huh? Approximately 230. On said that she gained those skills while playing in the elemental tower, right? We also have to complete that entire tower just like you. We should have tried to become the strongest instead of just focusing on getting through the level. Anyway, it's the past. That's not entirely true. Anyway, you're great. If he had played in solo mode, the humans would have had a chance to win. Hearing these words made Kang Tae-san ponder for a while. Everyone knows that Tae-san's skills are very strong. But most skills are applied based on stats. Lee Chang-chun thought to himself, if he was a hard player, no, even just a normal player. So, the current Tae-san can't even use half of his skills. Kang Tae-san expressed, can we stop talking about this, let's get straight to the point. You came back from scouting, right? Lee Tae-yun replied, exactly. The next wave is about to begin. Hearing this news, Kang Tae-san's eyes showed surprise. He smiled cunningly and replied. That's it. Waves of monsters attack, every time there is such a wave, many people die and human territory is lost significantly. In the first wave, humanity lost soul. In the second wave, half of the hard-level players are sacrificed. In the third wave, humanity could only defend a small city, and this would be the fourth wave. What are their numbers? Lee Tae-yun replied, 2 S rank 1s, dozens of A rank 1s, hundreds of B rank 1s, and the apostles. Kang Tae-san thought to himself, even Lee Tae-yun would have a hard time dealing with 2 S ranks. We don't have enough difficult players to handle the A ranks, the apostles are stronger than the S ranks. Is failure inevitable? We still have to fight. Tae-san, please fight these 2 S rank guys. Kang Tae-san wondered, do you want me to die? Lee Tae-yun replied, I have to deal with apostles and no one else can handle S rank. You understand. Right? That's a big request. Should I notify everyone? We should at least prepare ourselves mentally. We shouldn't let them die without knowing anything. That's sometimes better. As soon as he finished speaking, Kang Tae-san expressed, I don't think so. After speaking, he immediately turned and left. Lee Tae-yun stayed and smiled. Tae-san, you are very strong. You can lead us to victory. Speaking of this, her eyes were a bit sad. Lee Tae-yun muttered, but I'm just a coward. On the other side, Jiam Young-gun was sighing. Oh my god. I knew this day would come but it still feels so bad. Kang Tae-san walked over and asked, what about you? Jiam Young-gun replied, I can't complain. Everyone is dying because of monsters. It's been a long time since I've been alive. That's like a luxury. What does being bored with life have to do with luxury? After that, Kang Tae-san looked towards Lee Chang-chun. He expressed that, thinking back, he was pitiful. Yes, I think so too. After struggling through the maze, he might die the day he sees the outside world. That's really unlucky. Jiam Young-gun turned to ask, what about you? To be honest, he was probably the most disappointed. If we tried half as hard as you, we wouldn't have to face destruction, right? Hearing his words in his heart, Kang Tae-san didn't say a word, the two of them looked into the distance. Tattoo and think about something. Kang Tae-san replied. Yes, I'm so disappointed I could die. Is that enough? At the same time, there was a large monster raging. It ferociously opened its mouth wide to reveal its sharp teeth. Jiam Young-gun said excitedly, I'm going crazy, who do I have to fight? Kang Tae-san replied. 2S level 1s. Having finished speaking, Jiam Young-gun stood up and said firmly, see you in the afterlife, I will go first, wait for me. Kang Tae-san replied. Got it. After that, he immediately activated jumping. A lightning-fast tumble made Jiam Young-gun confused, not understanding what was going on. Kang Tae-san rushed forward like the wind. He floated in the air, activating full reconnaissance. Kang Tae-san looked intently at the control screen. When he discovered the target's traces somewhere, Kang Tae-san happily silently exclaimed that he had seen them. Without hesitating any longer, Kang Tae-san immediately approached the monster. Soon, he made eye contact with the monsters. Sharp, provocative eyes. Please? At this time, the monsters were testing their nerves, testing their confusion, testing their fear, testing their ability to die. A series of tests were successful. At the same time, Kang Tae-san overcame with an indomitable spirit and unbreakable will. His body was imbued with unshakable determination. When everything was ready, Kang Tae-san coldly shouted loudly, "Die, you trash!" Kang Tae-san stared at the monster with sharp eyes. It seemed like he was making some calculations. Kang Tae-san silently pondered, hoping that none of them were the defensive type. After that, he immediately activated full surveillance. Monster number 7 defense type. At this moment, the monster changed size. Looked fiercely at Kang Tae-san. His eyes seemed to want to swallow him whole. Not at all discouraged, Kang Tae-san raised his sword and shouted loudly, 148 million blood. Are you kidding? How long will it take to die? Then, he quickly accelerated. Finished processing a name. As for the remaining monster, Kang Tae-san asked confused. What about you? That's monster number 5. Ranged attack type. Kang Tae-san exclaimed. 1.2 million. Probably more feasible. But I still don't have a countermeasure for both. Without further ado, Kang Tae-san immediately attacked. Just a few punches with the sword in hand. He dealt 42 damage to monster number 5. Dealt 38 damage to monster number 5. Adds 32 damage to it. Kang Tae-san silently exclaimed. Damage is reduced when attacking tentacles. Must aim for the head. Then, he quickly rushed to attack the monster's head. Use all your strength to deliver a fatal blow. He activated to negate the first attack. But unexpectedly, it suffered 0 damage. Kang Tae-san thought. It looks like it uses its tentacles to direct its shots. There's no lag, it's almost impossible to avoid just seeing it. Kang Tae-san's eyes flashed something. He realized that it seemed the only solution was to predict the trajectory of the shot. You can dodge the attack if you guess correctly, but the longer you think about it, the more disadvantageous it will be. After that, Kang Tae-san immediately accelerated. He knew that he couldn't hold on forever. Not long after, he dealt damage to monster number 5, 48 damage. Not stopping there, he looked towards the monster to figure out his next move. But unexpectedly, with the second attack nullification activated, the monster did not receive any damage. At this time, monster number 5 was provoked to madness. It senses danger from above. It turned out that Kang Tae-san changed the direction of the attack from top to bottom. At the same time, something appeared to protect monster number 5. Kang Tae-san wondered, this one is protecting him. The Guardian will shield the long-range attack when in danger. That's why they are paired together. But, Kang Tae-san smiled and said, I caught it. Right after that, Kang Tae-san forced a challenge match. A barrier was set up around them. Horrifying monsters continuously hit the barrier without stopping. For 1 minute, only monster number 7 can deal damage to you. Kang Tae-san thought to himself, it would be easy if Lee Tae-yun was here, she had legendary equipment and high stats thanks to clearing solo mode. At this time, Kang Tae-san has activated plus, the current damage is doubled. In addition to activating BOI, current damage is also doubled. And as an absolute verdict, the opponent's defense skills will be ineffective. Over here, Lee Tae-yun thought to herself, the defensive monster couldn't damage Lee Tae-yun, so she could deal with the long-range attacker first. Then slowly kill the defending one. Kang Tae-san thought, but I can't do that. Whether it's an offensive or defensive monster, with stats like that, one attack from them is enough to kill you. 9604, still not enough. Kang Tae-san has activated the designated skill download. The cooldown of this skill is 1 month. You have re-established BOI. Current damage continues to be squared up. After activating it, Kang Tae-san strongly challenged him. Come on, kill the one with the most blood first. He knew that the only thing he could rely on was skill. 9604 to the second power, still not enough to exceed 100 million. So, I have to overcome the limit. Kang Tae-san has activated replication. The next attack will hit twice. Deals 92,200,000 damage to monsters. Adds more than 92,000 damage to monster number 7. Soon, monster number 7 was destroyed. At the same time, monster number 5 received more than 22 damage. Not stopping there, Kang Tae-san continued to activate patience. Fatal damage is disabled. During 5 seconds all damage is reduced to 0. Kang Tae-san exclaimed. I've used all the ways to neutralize attacks. Now there's only one trick left, patience. Just like that, he dealt 48 damage to monster number 5. Kang Tae-san thought to himself. From now on, there is only one strategy, dodge, hit, repeat. The problem is, I don't have any skills anymore, I need to destroy 1.2 million horsepower with just normal attacks. That means, I need to hit them 25,000 times, I will lose. As time passed, Kang Tae-san dropped to 600,000 horsepower. Then down to more than 500,000 on 1.2 million horsepower. With more time, Kang Tae-san managed to reduce it to more than 300,000. Finally, when his strength was exhausted, the number was more than 100,000. Kang Tae-san looked blank and panted. Not discouraged, he shouted loudly to regain his fighting spirit. Kang Tae-san is in a state of absolute concentration, body and spirit merging into one. A magical power is engraved into your soul. You have received the soul skill, increased containment. Because Kang Tae-san has escaped the maze, you can no longer receive skills, increased prevention, has been sealed. Read these words. Kang Tae-san shouted angrily, shut up. Monster number 5 now collapsed to the ground. He dealt 48 damage to monster number 5. As a result, monster number 5 was destroyed. The gods in every plane could not hide their admiration for his feat. Kang Tae-san silently wondered, how long had he been fighting? It seems like more than a month has passed. Damn stats. After that, Kang Tae-san tried to stand up and return. The lonely figure walked alone with each heavy step. At the same time, vibrating sounds were emitted on the system screen. In the ruins of great buildings. Look at the bodies lying on the street. Kang Tae-san angrily exclaimed, damn it. You guys keep talking about how you're the few remaining hard-level players in the world. So why am I, an easy-level player, the only one left? Why did I return victorious only to see you all dead? Walked in front of Ji Young-gun's body. Kang Tae-san silently wondered if he had gone to the afterlife as promised. Kang Tae-san pondered something. He remembered the happy moments with Ji Young-gun. Then Kang Tae-san glanced away. Somewhere not far away, Lee Tae-yun was lying there. She never woke up again. Looking at her miserable image, Kang Tae-san silently called out, Lee Tae-yun. The only person to complete solo difficulty and the strongest person in the world. Her killer was this apostle's name. Recalling the moment before, Lee Tae-yun was controlled by a monster. With its large tentacles, it easily caught Lee Tae-yun. Noticed Kang Tae-san looking at it. Ferocious monsters threaten. Stare. You're about to die. As soon as he finished speaking, Kang Tae-san shouted angrily. Shut up. Take your eyes away. He successfully resisted. Kang Tae-san then activated standard aim. Deal damage to that monster. He tried to suppress the pain. Regain the fighting spirit. His eyes were determined and he shouted loudly, come on in, you bastard. Each fire fairy exudes the fierceness of Kang Tae-san. He looked into the distance, at the shabby ruins. It was unfortunate that Kang Tae-san was secretly attacked by the monster. He looked pained. Sweat fell drop by drop on my cheeks. Injured. Kang Tae-san exclaimed angrily. Damned. He was directly grabbed by the monster and lifted high. Faced with this situation, he silently wondered. So this is my ending for now. The monster forcefully threw him to the ground. Kang Tae-san's vitality has decreased to 0? Heroic activation. He was forced to live one more minute. Kang Tae-san thought to himself. Damn it. Let me rest in peace, I can't even feel my lower body anymore. My spine was damaged when it stabbed me through the heart. Mr. Dung. Just delaying my death. It cannot undo the damage already suffered. I will die in a minute. He probably already knew. Damned. Kang Tae-san collapsed to the ground. At this moment, a mischievous eye appeared on the ground. The monster tore the ground apart. And Kang Tae-san on this side mumbled. If I hadn't chosen easy mode before, damn it, or normal mode. Or not. Useless bunch. It seems that Kang Tae-san has now regained his determination. He used his weak strength to try to stand up. Body trembles. Try to calm down and take a deep breath. He declared loudly. You guys can't even train your strength properly because you're too engrossed in the maze. How can you guys be so weak even though you chose the normal and hard levels? If only you guys worked half as hard as I did. When Kang Tae-san said this, he couldn't hold back his anger so he used his hand to hit the ground hard. Images of Ji Young-gun were immediately shattered. The voice trembled. Kang Tae-san continued. Then we could. Haven't finished the sentence yet. He was exhausted. In the blink of an eye, Kang Tae-san collapsed on the ground. He let go. Whatever. It's the past. And that is my own choice. Blaming others doesn't help either. This is the end of humanity. Suddenly, a flash of light caught his attention. Kang Tae-san curiously looked at him and exclaimed. That is. So she was trying to protect something. Kang Tae-san tried to crawl towards Lee Tae-yun. The monster saw that. Angry, screaming loudly. Stand still. Seeing the situation is not favorable. Kang Tae-san Bon activated the last chance. Can use a skill without any constraints. Time stopped. He activated the time stop. Time within a 100 n radius is frozen for 2 minutes. Kang Tae-san took the stone in Lee Tae-yun's hand to check. It turned out that it was the relics of Ouroboros. Relics of the god who rules the cycle of life. It is possible to turn back one's time only once. Seeing that, Kang Tae-san was surprised and silently exclaimed. Why? Go back in time. Why Lee Tae-yun? At the same time, the stoppage time expired. The monster has torn apart time. Realizing that, Kang Tae-san responded arrogantly. See you next time. Bastard. When the monster opened his mouth wide. Then he held the relic up high. Light flashed. Childhood images appear. Calls. Kang Tae-san, you are truly useless. What were you born to do? Kang Tae-san recounted. When I was young, my parents always vented their anger on me. I believed in those words in the midst of being crushed. I used to think I was worthless. Weakness led me to choose easy mode. But this time it won't be like that. I know my own value and talents. So this time. By the time Kang Tae-san opened his eyes again, he had gone back to the past. Looking at the familiar messy room. Go to the old light bulb. He exclaimed. This is. Startle. He immediately sat up and picked up the phone. He silently wondered if he had really gone back in time? January 1st, 2020. During New Year's Eve. The destruction of the earth begins. Kang Tae-san devoured the vermicelli while talking about the luxurious taste. How long has it been since I last took a test? All I could eat after the apocalypse were potatoes and monster corpses. Soon, he ate an entire large pizza. Kang Tae-san thought, who knew that Lee Tae-yun had a treasure to turn back time? But why didn't she stop it, even until her death? The Lee Tae-yun I knew would withdraw, I couldn't understand. He curiously walked to the window and looked into the distance. Looking at the time, he knew something terrible was coming. People around the world must be counting down, welcoming the new year and thinking that things will get better. It's very unlucky right at the moment of the new year of the world. At the same time, a loud noise rang out. Everyone is scared, do you hear anything? What events are they organizing? Heard that. A guy then turned to look. What is it? A monster tore through space to get outside. Everyone was scared and shouted loudly. Female? What the hell? It's a monster. Kang Tae-san calmly raised his eyes and looked up. He said, at that time I was also very scared. Well, but now I know what it is. A B-rank monster. Probably. Difficult players can fight it without difficulty. Anyway, it's about time. Then the control system appeared 2 words, hello, making them scared. Notification system, your world is about to be destroyed by invaders. Your weapons have no effect on them. Media stations also reported warnings about them. But the mysterious system is reassuring. But don't worry. There is a powerful and altruistic being who has compassion for you. The one who decided to give you a chance. The scene was chaotic. A little girl burst into tears among the rubble. A girl tried to save her loved one. The system says you will be selected. Choose one of them and enter the maze. Complete it and get the power. Kang Tae-san calmly walked away thinking, what a bastard. They crave entertainment, rather. The image of Kang Tae-san as a child timidly appearing in the dark appeared. With the current Kang Tae-san calmly facing reality. 2 contrasting people at 2 different times. He firmly said, what are you waiting for? Easy mode, you have plenty of food and places to rest in each maze. Even normal or weak people can overcome it if they try. Normal mode. Lack of food and certainly less places to rest than on easy mode. Even though it's difficult to survive, you can still complete it if you try your best and don't let yourself despair. Hard mode, this difficulty will test your limits. Food and rest are severely lacking, monsters will risk their lives just to kill you. And if you cannot keep yourself even a little bit safe, you will suffer a horrible death. Solo mode. This is the mode where you play alone. You won't be able to meet other people from your world. The only things you will see are hostile creatures, monsters, and NPCs. This place challenges your luck, talent, and tactical intelligence. And you won't survive. If you still value life, please do not choose this difficulty level. Kang Tae-san reached out and touched the selection box. He looked up at the purple thunderbolts above his head and muttered. Are you up there? Please wait for me. Kang Tae-san walked towards the light ahead. At the same time, the system also updated, solo mode was selected. May luck always be with you. In the blink of an eye, he was teleported to a street. Kang Tae-san looked around and couldn't help but feel nostalgic and familiar. He laughed softly. After a long time, I'm back here again. He then opened the chat panel. There was a solo player named Kong Jun Hyuk talking up there. What is this? Kang Tae-san exclaimed a little surprised. Is there already a post? I don't know who this is, but he seems agile. Group chat is the only means to chat with people in difficult mode. As people on the front lines have shared many methods and tactics, it helps a lot. He texted a good luck message and then closed the chat program window. Only later did community chat become effective, so there is no need to use it now. What I need to check now is... In his mind, he recalled the incident from before, when Lee Tae-jon had asked him, Tae-san, what was the NPC like in easy mode? He replied, it just repeated the preset answers over and over again. What about your place? Lee Tae-jon said while sipping water. My place is different. NPC in solo mode, how should I say it? They act rationally and can move freely. As if they were real people. Back to the present, Kang Tae-san walks to the entrance gate. Next to the forest, there seems to be an NPC sleeping soundly. The appearance looks quite careless. He silently assessed. The gatekeeper NPC guards the entrance to the maze on easy mode. He's just an ordinary gray-haired old man. Suddenly, the other guard suddenly woke up. What? Has anyone been here yet? I thought it would take at least a month. Kang Tae-san lightly swallowed his saliva and thought. This name. He is stronger than Lee Tae-jon. Is this really a gatekeeper? The labyrinth gatekeeper opened and closed his eyes. He gently rubbed the back of his neck to introduce himself. Well, first of all, congratulations. I am Brockman, the guard protecting this place. Also your guide. Kang Tae-san wondered. Is a pun on the word broken man? Desperate man? He shrugged and replied. The person who failed and became a gatekeeper. Sounds good, right? I bet you heard a little about this place when you were outside, right? Your world is about to be destroyed by invaders. This is the opportunity given to you by the noble supernatural being. An unnecessary leniency. Wouldn't it be more fun to just let it destroy? Kang Tae-san stood silently listening without speaking. He just thought. He spoke as if he had experienced this himself. What Lee Tae-yun said is true. NPCs in solo mode are real living entities. They are people from destroyed worlds. On the other side, Brockman also looked at Kang Tae-san's face. Seeing no signs of anger. He was also quite puzzled. This guy, why is he so calm? If he came from a peaceful world, he should be scared right now, right? I'm planning on giving him a beating and then explaining. But he didn't react at all. But eventually, he started instructing. Anyway, this is the maze. Some people call it the tower. But you can call it whatever you want. There are a total of 100 floors. There will be major changes every 10 floors. Usually, the deeper you go, the harder it becomes. In this maze, you will have to take care of your own food and water. You also have to take care of finding the necessary information yourself. There. It's over. Kang Tae-san asked again. Is it really over? Brockman yawned so much that tears came to his eyes. So you want me to explain the first floor, second floor, and so on? There were a few businessmen among them. Go ask them. Hearing this answer, he suddenly remembered Lee Tae-jon's complaint, that gatekeeper is very annoying. He keeps beating me if I complain. I almost died before even entering the maze. So that's it. It's better to keep your mouth shut here. Then the gatekeeper raised his finger. The tip of the finger emitted a small stream of light. He said, at least I'll show you some of the basics. In a storage space, he took out 2 items. 1 is a long spear. 2 is a piece of armor. Kang Tae-san looked intently, only to see Brockman smiling softly. Then he raised his hand, swung the spear hard and hit the place where he was standing. He showed no signs of avoiding. And indeed, that NPC didn't actually hit him. But right at the moment he was about to reach him, he stopped. Then smiled and took the spear back. Brockman threw 2 items at Kang Tae-san. Take it. Item arrived. The system immediately updates the inventory. Worn leather armor. Defense +1. It seems like it can block some small scratches. Rusty sword. Attack +1. Looks like it's about to break. Kang Tae-san looked up after looking. This is bronze. NPC is a bit angry. Star? Don't like it? He shook his head. Are not. I wonder what Brockman thinks. Only to see him put his hand on his chin and stare at him. Kang Tae-san smiled slightly and tilted his head to ask. Star? He scratched his head. Are not. Nothing. Then I don't understand why. Brockman threw something else to him. Take this too. That wrist armor is about to fail. Defense +1 lost its value after a long period of use. At least it seemed to save a bite. Kang Tae-san was a bit surprised. What is this? I remember Lee Tae-yun didn't talk about this receiving incident. Brockman pointed towards the gate. You will receive some skills and other goodies. As you can verify for yourself later. All right. Come in. Yes. Thank. Good luck. Waiting for Kang Tae-san to come in, he recalled his face just now. That guy, he smiled as if he wanted to be transported into the labyrinth. As a gatekeeper, I have encountered many challenging maze auctions that were hailed as geniuses. But no one can complete this maze. But this guy, he's different. It's not simply a matter of talent or skill, but rather the foundation of the decision. That is the power to survive. He now returned to his previous sitting form, muttering. It would be good if he was still alive. On the other hand, towards Kang Tae-san. When he went a little way in, he suddenly stopped. He opened the screen to read information about the labyrinth. This labyrinth was created by a great magician from ancient times. Rumor has it that the person who completes it will be granted a wish. This is a sealed world. Horrible entities will always silently lurk. And living things must die. Things here exist to oppress you. But if you can advance through this deep and dark hell, eternal glory will await you. Kang Tae-san walked through the door. The light of the first floor of the maze entrance shined. Here, monsters will die if punched. They are not very strong. He looked ahead. Gently smile and say to yourself. Let's get started, shall we? Main mission. Begin. This place contains many secrets and mysteries. Depending on the mystery you solve, rewards will be awarded upon completion. The first mission begins. Defeat the boss on the first floor and continue. Random rewards and potions increase stats. The part that is usually hidden remains unknown. Again, before he was reborn, one evening in the tent he set up to rest. Lee Tae-john wondered. Tae-san, on easy mode. Are there also salespeople? He replied. Right. There is a merchant. She was curious. What kind of businessman is he? Just an ordinary one. The way she would stop by and buy it and then leave. Lee Tae-john took off his gloves and said. So my place is not like yours. They sell a lot of things. Kang Tae-san lamented. Are you bragging? Lee Tae-john raised his hand. On her wrist is a shiny bracelet. See this. Dark bracelet. Buy premium items. Reduces damage taken by 50%. He also looked quite surprised. They sell it at the Star Store. She recounted. There's a lot there. But I can't buy them because of lack of gold. If you buy everything from the store, you might be stronger than me. Back to the present. Kang Tae-san is now standing in front of a door. He remembered. I used to not care about those things. But the situation has changed. Kang Tae-san opened the door. Inside was a man with white hair and beard. He sat on the chair. The hand holding the pipe looked up at him and asked. It's here, this is the exiled king. Kang Tae-san looked at him leisurely for a few seconds. Then speak up. Hello. He also responded. Hello. My mind is still awake. What's your name? I'm Tae-san. Are you the store owner? What if it's true? Kang Tae-san gently glanced around and said. His store had nothing. The exiled king smiled softly and said. Young man. To display all of my items, even the first floor of the maze wouldn't have enough space. And I have no intention of showing you my goods. His heart was full of doubts. The store owner doesn't sell anything. So I had to ask. So what are you doing here? The exiled king angrily slammed his hands on the table and grimaced. Do you think I want to be here? I had to leave the kingdom because of those damn monsters. Life is miserable. Also, I don't want to show the item to stupid people. He nodded in response. I got it. Seconds later, when I calmed down. He said, pointing to a door behind him. However, if you show me your true self, I might change my mind if I return alive. I will show you the item. Kang Tae-san looked in the direction he pointed. He frowned slightly, silently analyzing. So, the selling condition is to survive. Are you sure? The exiled king looked at him suspiciously. Then he took another puff of the cigarette and commented. This young man is really strange. The room is quiet. Suddenly Kang Tae-san's voice rang out. Sorry. So I have to go through the labyrinth to buy items? The exiled king replied. Not really. Then I'll go. Don't ask anything more. Kang Tae-san immediately turned his head and walked in the direction he had just pointed. The king in exile suddenly felt very confused. Often people will panic and tremble. But why is he so calm? It was as if he didn't have any fear at all. How can there be such a person? I thought. King Exile gently stretched his arms and said to himself. He won't come back. So it doesn't matter. On the other side, Kang Tae-san walked into the hallway. Already lit torches hung on the walls. As he walked, he evaluated the corridors in each room and structure of the first floor as if in easy mode. It looks safe, there's no danger ahead. But that's just fake. Kang Tae-san suddenly stopped. He immediately looked back. Nearby there was a glowing eye staring at him. A large rat carrying a skull appeared. As soon as it arrived, it immediately shot a purple beam towards him. Seeing it, he was also very surprised. Big Rat, the fifth boss in easy mode is just a normal monster here. Kang Tae-san's foot was hit by a purple beam, directly suffering 10 damage. He turned around, his sharp eyes looking at it. In the past, when on easy mode, he had fought against it. It's weak in defense, but its speed is hard to keep up with, so defeating it takes a lot of time. Monsters like it are just normal creatures on the first floor. This makes me clearly see the difference. Kang Tae-san held the sword and stabbed at the mouse, but it quickly dodged. He muttered, as expected it was really fast. When I used to hunt it on easy mode, players had to cooperate together, driving it until it got tired. Now I'm alone, my stats are lower than before, I have almost no chance of winning. No wonder why Lee Tae-yun ran away. Among the people who had passed the first floor, no one actively fought the big rat. Otherwise, if you fail, you will be bitten by them. No wonder, at that time, the exiled king said there was no need to go through it when he asked. Kang Tae-san smiled full of excitement. I can almost feel this place. He rushed up to confront the big mouse head-on. The reward principle of the maze is very simple. Conquer what others cannot. Achieve achievements that everyone recognizes, then you will receive a worthy reward. While attacking, of course he was still bitten by it a few more times, but that didn't stop him from giving up. He attacked more and more aggressively. My goal has become stronger than anyone here. And at this moment, Kang Tae-san stabbed the sword straight down. Right in front of the mouse, making it a little scared. Hastily jumping back, it seemed like its speed was decreasing. He thought, if I can't keep up with its speed, then the only way is to predict when it is about to move. The mouse was now trembling and looking at him with fear. Kang Tae-san stared at it even more firmly. It is also a living organism that needs to breathe. Every living creature has a preparatory posture before performing any action. Contract your leg muscles, lift your chest. Right now. Sure enough, the big mouse was about to jump up. His sword stabbed him so hard that he was startled. Notification system, Big Mouse has been threatened by you. Its decisive pace has slowed. Kang Tae-san continued to analyze. It's trying to understand the situation with its tiny brain. It won't be able to attack my ankle anymore. So it will target the second most likely place to bite. Its jumping ability is low. So it will aim at my wrist. At this moment, the mouse jumped up. Ha opened his mouth towards his hand. Kang Tae-san guessed correctly and immediately pointed his wrist at its mouth. The mouse bit into that place and couldn't get out. He smiled and held it up high. You're gone. Then, he forced his body to the ground. Continuously stabbed the mouse one by one. The system keeps popping up notifications. You hit it. The big mouse was stunned. It must take additional damage. You have dealt 4 damage. You have dealt 5 damage. After a while, Kang Tae-san returned to the room of the exiled king. See you. He was extremely surprised. He handed over the bag containing the body of the big rat and said, I'm back. Along with that, the reminder system. You can eat even large rat meat if you want. Remember previous times. Kang Jun in solo mode had to complain. The shop owner is too arrogant. Why do you keep rambling on when selling? Lee Tae-jon also advised Kang Tae-san before. Could he do that to you? Oh my god. When selling, worry about selling. Why are you like that? Tae-jon was very upset about the salesman. I really wanted to stab him with a knife. But now I'm too exposed. Can't do it. I'm so crazy. Return to the present. The exiled king was quite surprised. The young man is still alive, Tae-san calmly replied. Does that mean you want me to die? The exiled king quickly denied. Or not. That's not the case. Little bit of information. Large rat meat has 96% quality. Can be eaten. The skin of large rats has 95% quality. At least it can help you feel less cold. Tae-san offers to sell mice. Does your store buy things? How much is this place worth? The exiled king was very surprised. He got these things and didn't bother to run away. Tae-san just replied. The key is that I caught it. Why are you so surprised? King in exile reviews. This is the real thing. Also the best quality. It's not wrinkled or dirty. Meaning he caught it perfectly. And yet, he was still a young man who had just entered the labyrinth. Tae-san still calmly waited for the exiled king's answer. After thinking for a while, he happily agreed. All right. First, because you agreed. I will open a store for you. Tae-san asked him. What do you sell? The exiled king was excited. We sell almost everything. Just say whatever you need. Tae-san suggested. So do you sell shields? The exiled king replied. Shield? That big one? Tae-san agrees. Right. A large shield that can be carried with both hands. The exiled king asked Tae-san curiously. Why do you want a shield out of everything I have? Tae-san freely explained. To attack and defend all at the same time. The exiled king smiled. Correct answer. He knocked to open the golden door. Tae-san's heart was filled with anticipation. The exiled king took out his shield and asked Tae-san for advice. What do you think about this? This is a heavy shield. Attack power +1 and defense +5. Quite tough. Able to fend off multiple attacks. Tae-san saw the heavy shield and was quite satisfied. This is so complete. This quality can only be obtained from the 7th floor on easy mode. The exiled king said immediately, the price is 500 gold. Tae-san hesitated. Currently he only has 243 gold. Only half enough. Probably for next time. I just need to catch 7 more big rats. I thought. Tae-san leaves to search for gold. The salesperson was confusing. Where are you going? Tae-san just replied. I need to earn more gold to buy it. The exiled king gave Tae-san great favor. Don't worry about it. I will give it to you for free. The update system is also very fast. You have received a heavy shield. It doesn't stop there. The exiled king also quickly wanted to sell more goods. You have 250 gold, right? You can buy some of these. Wait a minute. Tae-san was amazed at what he saw before his eyes. He asked himself. What's going on? There are countless good things in front of you. Tae-san was surprised. This is different from what I heard from Lee Tae-yun. Tae-san carefully asked the exiled king. Wait. Why do you give me so many things? The exiled king grumbled. Is that so confusing? I'm just being nice. Isn't it allowed to be kind? The exiled king suggested to Tae-san. Just consider this an investment. Tae-san was stunned. Star investment. The exiled king explains to Tae-san, shut up and listen. Now choose. These are the things you can buy. Tae-san changed his attitude. I thought to myself, so he's not planning on giving me the details. Hold a jar in your hand. Tae-san said that most of them were bottles containing liquid medicine. The system provides information to Tae-san. Liquid stamina recovery medicine. Restores 50% vitality. Costs 200 gold. Tae-san knows clearly. From these knockouts increases attack power. To these types of speed improvements. Etc. Those are the necessary potions to overcome the maze. But Tae-san doesn't seem very interested. But not what I need right now. Tae-san thinks about when Taejon took the medicine. I heard it's difficult to get liquid medicine in solo mode. And they are very useful. Tae-san analyzed carefully. There is no need to buy these potions right away. They can be traps set for you. Tae-san aims differently. I need to spend money on necessary things rather than medicine. Rough bow. Hit rate plus 20%. But it can be difficult to use. The price is 200 gold. Rough arrow. Attack plus 1, cost 10 gold. Tae-san also knew that there needed to be an item used for direct attacks. It would only take a bow to solve all the troubles. Tae-san asked the exiled king. How much will you pay for the mouse skin? He replied with this quality. I can give you 70 gold. Tae-san decided. Then I will sell it. And buy a bow and 1 arrow. The exiled king had a satisfied face. He quickly took out a bow and arrow for Tae-san. Here you go. Tae-san is confused. What's wrong with this guy? So different from expectations. The exiled king also told Tae-san. Do you know that it is impossible to restore vitality in the labyrinth? Tae-san replied coldly. Yes, I know. The exiled king had good intentions and taught Tae-san. At the first level, the fountain of life can help you regain vitality. You can use as much as you like. As long as you're still at the first level, I'll let you know the location. The exiled king pulled out a map. I'll also mark it on the map. There's a crazy old man here. But you'll probably be fine. Tae-san thought about Taejon again. Lee Tae-yun also learned about the spring of life. But he expressed disdain and reluctance to tell Lee Tae-yun. At that rate she will starve to death if she goes there. Tae-san is confused. Why did he change his attitude? Just because the way of talking is different? Lee Tae-yun left without catching a single large mouse. But I didn't run away. I caught it and came back. Tae-san speculates that maybe that's why he changed his attitude. Tae-san continues to hunt mice. The big mouse was quickly hit and the system also rang continuously. The big mouse was stunned. They take additional damage. 5 damage. You have won the big mouse. Tae-san is still lost in thought. There are a lot of things that I'm not sure about. The spiritual increase skill was activated and it was a skill that Tae-san felt uncertain about. Agility is permanently increased by 1. Tae-san went to get the reward before I caught the big mouse. Tae-san was suddenly surprised. What? I just caught an ordinary fish and they reward me so much? Looking at a series of rewards, Tae-san found it hard to believe. Not just basic skills. There are even skills that you can only achieve at level 20. 40 if on easy mode. Basic skill is sword comprehension 1%, special skill is solid vision, comprehension 1%. Special activation skill. Strong spirit. Comprehension is 12%. Discovery and comprehension skills are 5%. Tae-san was excited. Wow, I learned all of this in the first level of solo mode. It's unbelievable. What caught Tae-san's eye was the spiritual enhancement skill. Comprehend 100%. That skill gives Tae-san the ability to see the world at a higher level. The spirits in the higher dimension will take away the enemy's strength every time Tae-san wins. The system teleported Tae-san. You are entering a state of unconscious absorption. Your body and mind become one. A magical power will be engraved into your soul. You have been spiritually enhanced. But Tae-san's expression doesn't seem favorable. Newspaper system. You cannot receive skills because you are outside the maze. Psychic enhancement cancelled. Tae-san is now thinking about the past. That moment, when I fought against the S-class guys. The moment my vitality of about 1,250,000 was lost, a window appeared. I'm too tired to read it. Was the sealed skill released when I returned to the labyrinth? Tae-san thinks that a skill remains the same no matter how much time passes. When there is a problem I cannot solve, I always choose to keep going straight, and that is what I will do now. I will go straight to the goal, to come back stronger than anyone. The fire flickered on the path into the maze. Tae-san commented, so after I go through this corridor, I can reach the spring of life. Immediately, a large mouse appeared before Tae-san's eyes. The system also gives you early warning. Looking at the big rat roaring, Tae-san did not flinch at all. It's it again. It was only a matter of time before meeting a monster here. There wasn't just one big mouse, there were two. The system warns you that you are in a difficult position. There are quite a few big rats appearing. Tae-san was a bit stunned. An ambush. The system continuously warns you that you are in a difficult situation. Tae-san still calmly considered the situation. He was a bit surprised. Just 3 can surround an adult. Even though their brains are tiny, they will soon know they have an advantage. However, the system quickly examined Tae-san's body. Checking the level of confusion. Testing fear level. The mouse is still busy. It bared its teeth and glared at Tae-san. He quickly raised his shield to defend. At the same time the system had finished checking, the system displayed, "You have resisted with an excellent level of concentration." Even though it was difficult, Tae-san made up his mind. I'm not allowed to flinch. I've seen too many people die because of indecision in situations like this. The rats were still roaring behind Tae-san. The system has grasped Tae-san's stats. Your state of mind cannot be shaken. All stats increased. Tae-san used his shield to repel a mouse. Another one was able to cling to his leg. Very easily Tae-san kicked it down. Thanks to leveling up and successful checks, my stats have increased. Therefore I can reflect and capture them easily. Report Blooming Point System. You won the match with 2 big rats. You have leveled up. Tae-san breathed a sigh of relief. The big mouse has been threatened by you. Big rats can't make decisions. There was a large mouse that hesitated before Tae-san. Tae-san provoked it. Come here. It suddenly growled louder. Tae-san stood still. The mouse quickly rushed over. And just wait for that. Tae-san raised his shield high and prepared to stab it. Thank you to the person who put his head in the trap. All I saw was fresh blood splashing into the surrounding space. The door opened. Tae-san successfully walked out. The system provides you with information. This is the rest area in the maze. Your enemies cannot invade on their own. And the peace here will make you lazy. You have discovered the spring of life for the first time. The system reports further. Enjoy your first discovery. Permanent intelligence increased by 1 mana. Permanently increased by 2. Tae-san approached the stream. He raised his hand to the cool stream water. He secretly thought that most of the areas in the maze were filled with monsters. The exception is this store and stream. A kind of safe zone. Tae-san brought it to his mouth to try drinking. His body is recovering. The system also says, you have restored to the best state. Tae-san was surprised. It's so refreshing. My fatigue disappeared as if I had just woken up. But the nervous tension is still increasing. Maybe I should rest here. The next day, Tae-san went to the community forum to check the information. It seems like a day has passed. What's new on the community forum? Kang Jun shows solo mode. He asked for the community's opinion. Brothers, do I need to be in this maze? Na Jae-yan returned it. Those who came in did not respond. Maybe you shouldn't go in there. Kang Jun is upset. I will go crazy. Kang Dong-jun in normal mode also participated in the conversation. Does anyone want to cross the first floor with me? Looking for star information. Does anyone know what the first monster was like? Lee Sang added a comment. It's so frustrating. Tae-san read all the comments and thought to himself, as I thought. Most messages come from solo players. Players in other modes can meet and talk. But solo players can only communicate through the community forum. What is Tae-san planning to do? He smiled interestingly because he had just commented something on the community forum. The community shows Tae-san's comment. Lee Tae-san's solo mode. Everyone, what should I do? Tae-jon is also shy. Strongest player. Always confident like Lee Tae-san was also confused at first. But that may not be the case. Tae-san also thinks differently about Tae-jon. Recall the status window from before. Maybe she's just a fragile person. Hide your true nature until the end. Tae-san pondered. Only a day has passed since the maze opened. Solo players usually enter the tower after a month. So many people are probably still alive. Tae-san types continuously. The normal part of the solo mode is completely worth the difficulty. Although she missed out on many rewards, after quickly defeating the boss, Lee Tae-yun became the strongest player. Tae-jon received this news. Both Kang Jun and other players also received this information. Tae-san wrote on the community forum. Kang Tae-san, the basic method to clear the first level in solo mode and the long messages Tae-san wrote is unclear. Tae-san stretched his shoulders and wondered. What will happen? I think it will be difficult to believe in an unfounded article and enter the maze. Even if they believe it, I don't know how they will react. Among the 10,000 people who chose solo mode, the only one who survived was Lee Tae-yun. Tae-san stood up and started taking action. Okay, I should get started. Tae-san took out a piece of rat meat. The system says large rat meat is 86% edible if forced to eat it. Tae-san looked at it and was confused. After all, is it edible or not? If you think this is for the ultimate goal, then try to eat. Then Tae-san actually ate it. Tae-san swallowed the meat. System starts. Checking status. The system immediately reported red. Tae-san also collapsed. Test failed. You have food poisoning. Food poisoning causes rapid blood loss within 2 days. If you don't use healing potions or health potions, you will die. This is truly a nightmare state for beginners. Tae-san restores his own health. He sighed. This is why people who have experienced it once remind people to cook it before eating. Notification system. You have recovered to your best condition. Tae-san knew it was difficult, but he was forced to eat raw rat meat because he knew how difficult it was to find food in the maze. He continued to eat with thought. The store sells quick meals, but they are quite expensive and scarce. System checked. Checked successfully. Nothing happened. So in the end you still have to eat the creatures in the maze. Tae-san continued to eat. Like this time the system turned red. Test failed. You have food poisoning. Just like being limited in space. There are times when you have no choice but to eat raw meat, and if you get poisoned, there's really nothing worse. Every time he gets poisoned, Tae-san recovers to his best condition. After eating all this time, Tae-san felt like he was almost full. The system tells Tae-san that you have suffered so many diseases that resistance has formed. You have received the continuously active skill with disease resistance condition. Tae-san was excited. Then you've won the trick. The story will change if you acquire this disease resistance skill. Disease resistance skill is activated for Tae-san. Item is 1% proficient, resistant to all diseases. Currently you can resist diseases caused by diet. Tae-san thinks that if I increase my proficiency, I can use it to become immune to food poisoning, although to get it you have to suffer from all kinds of diseases. Tae-san hesitated. Should I get the next skill? Tae-san feels very uncomfortable. I don't like this. Cool spring water. Tae-san collapsed face down into the stream. Warning system. You cannot breathe. Tae-san struggled. It hurts so much, but you have to endure it. Tae-san was a bit scared. It is said that drowning is the most painful death. Tae-san is about to not be able to stand it anymore. He quickly lifted his head. Updated system. You almost died from holding your breath. You have received the conditionally activated skill of holding your breath. You have had a near-death experience. You have received the conditional activation skill line of death. Tae-san breathed heavily, almost losing his life in a careless way. He lifted his hair and prepared to hold his breath again. Let's succeed. The conditionally activated skill is holding your breath. Mana cost is 1. Proficiency is 1%. You can hold your breath for long periods of time. Currently, the holding time is about double the usual. Tae-san was excited. A skill that increases the time you hold your breath, which will be very useful in places where the air is toxic. Because you have to drown yourself to the point of near death, not many people can have it. But you can also get the edge of death skill, so it's quite worth it. Tae-san looked at the screen. Conditional continuous activation skill. Line of death mastery 54%. You can recognize when you are about to die and it will activate in the most critical situations. Tae-san was startled. Why is the proficiency level already at 54%? He is quite confident. If it's 54%, is it the same as when I was in the future? Can I inherit something like this? Perhaps because this skill is not linked to the body but to the spirit. But if that were the case, calming down and exploring would not be at the 1% level. Tae-san grimaced. I don't understand. Tae-san prepares to take out his sword. He thought to himself. Unexplainable events occur frequently inside the maze. I can't be too detailed about every single thing. Tae-san grabbed the sword. He decided to work hard. Because I can create more skills. Now is not the time to stop. On the community forum, Kong Jun is panicking about something. This senior. Is this the right direction? Other players also found it hard to believe. This stuff is crazy. Tae-san responded to Kong Jun's question. Big risk. Big rewards. Don't you know? Delaying too much will not give us the results we want. Time to move on. Kong Jun cried. It's not like that. Ancestor. Sorry, but I don't think I can do it. Tae-san doesn't care. Whatever. You will regret it later. Kong Jun screamed. But what should we do? What should I do? Taejon comforts Kong Jun. I can understand how you feel. He's the only one who can do it. No one else can do that. On the side of the stream of life, Tae-san is still diligently practicing holding his breath. After that, Tae-san successfully activated breath holding. There is something called skill combination, like once a certain skill satisfies a certain condition. It promotes the evolution of a new skill. Tae-san is determined to practice diligently. Tae-san reminded. You can only hold your breath while exercising, up to a certain limit. Tae-san keeps slashing while practicing. His face was full of confident success. After a while, Tae-san held his breath. He quickly exhaled. The training process is quite strenuous. The system notifies Tae-san, you have successfully performed many actions in just one breath. Achieved the special active skill 1 strike. You have gained more than 10 skills. You are qualified to show them off to everyone. You have achieved skill player. Tae-san is satisfied. That's pretty cool. Tae-san remembers the time he fought with 3 mice. Similar to how I predict every move of a big mouse before catching them. People also have their own preparation posture before taking action. And Wu Xingkich helps this temperature become faster and easier to change. Tae-san checks messages on the community forum. This is a skill I used a lot before getting out of the maze. There is this notice. The notice said physical strength 120 out of 120. Magic points 12 out of 12. Strength 10. Intelligence 12. Agility 21. Attack power +1. Defense power +7. Tae-san was surprised. Isn't Lee Tae-yun's flexibility at first level 13? That's not true. And now I have 21. I'm also quite agile. Tae-san decided. Alright. Now I can create a main skill. A primary skill is usually a skill that has a higher value than 10 skills combined together. It also helps me make up for the shortcomings in my stats. Tae-san started practicing. For example, it can transform or increase attack power. Simply put, it can help identify hidden factors. Tae-san thought. From the ability to block attacks with disabling moves to the ability to stop time with time freeze. With just one main skill, you can have overwhelming power over players of the same level. Tae-san diligently practices his skills. Because of such strong ability, the conditions and requirements to achieve it are very difficult. For example, full scouting is only achieved after 2 or 3 scouting skill evolutions. However, having a core skill at early level is feasible. Tae-san made up his mind. So what are you waiting for? Create it now. The big mouse appeared in front of Tae-san. Tae-san calmly solved it. Of course I need to achieve it. The mouse bit Tae-san's leg. Tae-san received 4 damage. Next, Tae-san receives 3 more damage. The mouse kept biting Tae-san. The system repeatedly informs you that you have received 4 additional damage. Tae-san was delighted. Look how excited it was when it bit me. Thought I wouldn't react. I'll let it have some more fun. Continuous notification system. You take 4 damage. Take 3 damage. Tae-san still hasn't bothered to take action. And the stupid mouse was still madly biting Tae-san's leg. Newspaper system. You have taken 3 damage. You have entered a state of emptiness. Tae-san is still on watch. Just a little more. Warning system. You are close to death. Only then. Tae-san threw a strong punch at the mouse. Green display system. Owner deaths increased 3%. Master of composure has increased by 2%. The mouse is not dead. It prepares to attack again. And Tae-san is close to death. When the rat sucked its head up, Tae-san quickly took out his shield and blocked it. The big mouse lay down in one place. Congratulations system. You have successfully blocked the enemy's attack. Tae-san has more skills. Gained active skills, especially blocking. Tae-san thought that this skill was suitable for eliminating damage below a certain threshold. But that's not what I want. The system keeps ringing. You are close to death. Tae-san increased his patience skills. Tae-san is satisfied with it. With this skill, I have the opportunity to cancel a sure kill attack and eliminate all damage for a period of time. The only person who benefits from it is me, no one else. Tae-san imagines the praise of Tae-jon and Jeon Young-gun. How exactly did you learn this patience skill? Tae-jon was curious. That's right. I also want to know. Jeon Young-gun whined. Why is it that only you can achieve this skill? Tae-san replied. Oh, this skill? In this maze, there are specific ways to gain skills. And they are very simple. You can get it from someone. Or you can get it by completing missions that others failed. And finally, Tae-san confirmed, it was to perform an action that imitated the effect of the skill. Tae-san said more clearly. For example, I gained the skill of holding my breath because I held my breath. And in that condition, I tried to use a sword. As a result, I achieved the skill of infinite strike. So, what if I want to acquire a skill that can eliminate a sure kill attack? Tae-san wondered. The system on Lin Hoi's site issues a notification. You are close to death. Tae-san suddenly understood. It's very simple. Just keep blocking the sure kill attacks. The mouse kept attacking. Tae-san kept using his shield to block it. The system keeps reporting. You have successfully blocked an attack that could have killed you. You have acquired the proactive skill of patience. Tae-san's mood is still calm. The mouse was blocked again and again. Tae-san calmly. Fear is not an excuse. From now on I have a skill that will always save my life. Following Tae-san through the community, Jeon Young-gun and Tae-jon both didn't know what to comment about him. Tae-jon seemed to understand Tae-san too well, but predicted that Tae-san was a crazy person. Young-gun plans to advise Tae-san. Brother, isn't that still dangerous? Tae-san found nothing strange. Reacting like them is normal. Tae-san looked around and evaluated. But this place is a maze. If I don't risk my life, I won't get anything. Tae-san drank the water of the spring of life again. His body full of rat bite wounds recovered quickly. After finishing, Tae-san went back to the community forum. Alright. I have become a calm teacher and master of death. Are there any other skills I can gain? Tae-san thought. Surely there must be a few others. There are 200 skills in total. So, while thinking, suddenly there was a sound in Tae-san's ears. Einsar's pursuer appears and yells at Tae-san. It turns out there's a guest here. The system alerts Tae-san. You have encountered the pursuer. Teacher Tae-san remained calm. Einsar smiled and praised. Great reaction. He looked at Tae-san and then evaluated him. No monster can enter the fountain of life. So this must be an NPC. He was a little skeptical. It's broken. I heard that all the NPCs of solo mode are very strange. Einsar asked Tae-san. You are an adventurer. Is that right? Tae-san replied. Adventurer? Einsar explained. That's what we call people who explore labyrinths with the aim of conquering. Are you like that? Tae-san nodded. I think so. Tae-san recalls Tae-jon's story. She said. While I was resting at the fountain of life, a strange old man approached me. I thought he was probably a knight serving the gods or something. Tae-san is in a hurry. What did she say then? I need to remember quickly. While Tae-san was still deep in thought, Einsar rushed up and punched him. He probed Tae-san's abilities. Now let's try to block this shot. The system alerts Tae-san. Einsar activated a non-kill attack. Tae-san momentarily froze. His eyes were wide open and his face was covered with sweat. Quick! The line of re-death is activated for Tae-san. Tae-san is still scared. I will die. But then he calmed down and took out his shield. The pursuer punched Tae-san's shield hard. Tae-san still stands firm after the killer's surefire attack. But it doesn't seem easy. Tae-san grimaced. Oh, so heavy. He closed his eyes tightly. Prepare to counterattack. Einsar also discovered this. Tae-san rose up strongly. Push back against Einsar. Good news continuously came to Tae-san. You have received the power of Tai-sun. Permanent power increased by 1. You have connected with the power of Tai-sun. You receive a special active skill overflow. Einsar continued to punch towards Tae-san. He provoked. How about this? Tae-san stuck to Einsar's moves. He is helpless. I cannot avoid it. Regardless of skills or techniques. The power gap is too big. Einsar's power caused Tae-san to be thrown into the distance. However, Einsar still recognizes Tae-san. Quite impressive. Tae-san suffered 35,211 damage. The system also determined that it was not a fatal blow. Damage has been disabled too. Einsar was surprised. I thought I would deal 100,000 damage. But it turned out to be only 30,000. Tae-san is still in shock. Breaks the entire labyrinth wall with just one blow. Such monstrous power. Even the Gong Guard. There are only monsters here, the pursuer complimented Tae-san. I was a bit surprised too. He said. Not only did he promptly use his shield to block the attack, but he also immediately left it to reduce the damage. Tae-san is humble. But I still can't bear to be defeated by you. The God Chaser laughed loudly. Of course. He continued. I also don't intend to kill someone I've never met. That's why I don't deal the fatal blow. He shook Tae-san's hand and helped him stand up. Furthermore, if I really want to attack you, you still have the ability to withstand it. In short, it's not a problem. Tae-san was curious. Have you been watching me? Einsar exclaims about Tae-san. The scene where he entered death to survive was truly amazing. That's a great skill. You were able to avoid my attacks thanks to your meager stats. Tae-san thought to himself. Even though he claims to be an arrogant NPC, he actually knows a lot about stellar skills. It's true that even Lee Tae-yun doesn't know about this. Einsar added that I was honestly worried that you were just a weakling. But it turns out it was just useless worrying. You have completely exceeded the standards. What's your name, adventurer? Tae-san spoke loudly. I'm Kong Tae-san. Einsar was delighted. Tae-san, it's an honor to meet you. It's truly a God-given opportunity. I am a seeker of the divine. They call me Einsar. In the situation when Tae-jon also came to the stream of life. Tae-jon scolded the rats. They keep following me all the time. Damn rats. Tae-jon comforted her, not knowing Einsar was standing behind her. I have come far. It'll be okay. Suddenly, Einsar attacked Tae-jon. But he also stopped in time. He withdrew his hand before Tae-jon's trembling. He judged her. You are a coward and weak. And then Einsar left without paying any more attention to Tae-jon. It was said that Lee Tae-yun was despised by him. From then on we no longer saw any articles about her. But this time, Tae-san couldn't expect him to be so welcoming to him. Tae-jon wants to ask. Can I ask you a question? Einsar replied. Just relax. Tae-san just asked. Why did you suddenly attack me? Don't like bullying the weak, Einzar replied excitedly with a wink. No wait. Maybe I'm a paladin. But there is no way I will kill the weak. He added. I just want to evaluate the people who come here. Taejon is confused. Evaluate. Einzar just said, do the survivors here have any value? And do they deserve our recognition? There is no more annoying type of person than the one who doesn't understand themselves. He sobbed while praising Taejon. However, he passed the assessment. Good job. Taejon also kept quiet. Thank you. I thought. But it's a bit discriminatory. Recognize value? That's his standard. At least he won't be my enemy. He spoke up. You said you were Einzar, right? Einzar proudly replied, yes. That is the name my honorable father gave me. Taejon expressed. You said you were looking for a god? Can I ask what kind of god you are looking for? In the maze there are many gods. Many gods challenge players and give them rewards. But most players don't care. The god only exists in solo mode. Taesan feels lucky. Fortunately, Lee Taejon discovered the dark truths of the gods. Thanks to talking with her regularly, I learned a lot of information. Mr. Einzar smiled and replied, of course. The more people who know about our god, the better. Hong clarified, the god we worship is the god of love, Labyrinth. We all serve you, calling your name every morning and night. He is a kind god, uniting people with love, in my world. No goddess is as beloved as you. Mr. Einzar said sadly, but unfortunately, my world has been destroyed. And I'm the only one who still remembers you. Taesan spoke softly, you came here to find her, right? Einzar is upset, yes, but I haven't even found his whereabouts in the slightest. Taesan mused, Lebeninov, I also know that god. Lee Taejon told me which floor she was on. Taesan didn't tell Mr. Einzar. Because there is a problem. According to Taejon's story. When Taejon got there, the goddess was ruined. At that time, Taejon returned and commented on the community saying, this is crazy, disgusting, I feel nauseous. Taesan thought that if someone who had overcome so many difficulties like Lee Taejon had to say that, things must be really bad. Should I tell him the truth? Mr. Einzar on the other hand said, Taesan, can I ask you a question? Taesan is also curious, what? Mr. Einzar asked Taesan, are you in a hurry to go down to the maze right now? Taesan replied, not really. Taesan believes that his goal is not to overcome the maze, but to become stronger with the rewards he receives. Mr. Einzar suddenly clapped his hands again. He was excited, great, do you want to learn Lebeninov's skills from me? Hearing this, Taesan woke up, I wanted to study. Mr. Einzar opened his eyes wide, didn't he hesitate at all? I think you need to think a little? Taesan replied, there is no reason for me to refuse. Taesan also implicitly evaluated Mr. Einzar. He is very strong and I don't understand why the NPC here is so strong, there is no reason to refuse someone like that to teach me skills. Taesan is also reasonable, so what is the price you want? Mr. Einzar waved his hands, of course there were no charges. Please consider this as my apology. Taesan doesn't understand, why apologize? Mr. Einzar explained softly. As you said, I suddenly attacked you, even if it was for testing purposes. It is unacceptable for me to use force against a newcomer like you. As a paladin, I feel truly remorseful about that. Taesan replied. Then you shouldn't have done that in the first place. But Mr. Einzar said, no, that is another matter. Not sure, the reason I apologize is because you deserve it. If it weren't for that, I would have spit it out and left. Taesan didn't want to argue with him anymore because he thought he was a crazy old man. I understand. Mr. Einzar is very gentlemanly. Just saying sorry is worthless. I chose to do this because you will need the necessary skills as you continue to explore. Are you satisfied? Taesan replied confidently. Of course I agreed. Taesan understands clearly. Taking a fatal blow to gain a new skill is much easier and less dangerous than methods that require risking your life. Mr. Einzar on one side was breathing a sigh of relief. So lucky. I almost did things that made me a traitor. Then he got down to business, okay. There's no reason to delay. Let's get started. He ordered Taesan. First, hit me with that wretched shield. Einzar recounts the origin of that move. In the labyrinth, many skills exist. Among them, basic skills can be easily learned with just one action. A real sword if you use one. Shield magic if you use a shield. Spear magic if you use a spear. You will receive the basic skill as soon as you carry the weapon. The higher the proficiency, the more proficient the knowledge and skill in using that weapon. So it can be said that all players have this skill. Then there is a skill that combines all the basic skills. Used without American flowers, but it can be said that it is the best. It is called an Iraqi weapon. The goddess even praised me personally. Since I created it, that is the skill I will teach you. Kang Tae-san sighed and replied. I got it. Einzar asked, returning to his cheerful state. You probably think it's useless, right? He replied, because it's just combining them, there's nothing new. He also rubbed his chin thinking, it would be a different story if this was a core skill. But if you just take advantage of the system mechanism to combine simple skills, it's meaningless. Einsar suddenly asked, what is his current attack point? Kang Tae-san honestly said it was 1. He exclaimed, so cute. So there's a total of 4. He confirmed, including the base attack power, yes. Hearing that, Einsar excitedly took a stance and activated the target lock skill, fixing all the damage he received. At the same time, he also raised his finger provocatively. Good, so that's the total attack power of that shield. Now like I said, why don't you try attacking me? Kang Tae-san picked up his shield and replied without hesitation, using his skills. If that's what you want. Having finished speaking, he rushed up, using his shield to hit Einsar's head so hard that fireflies exploded. You have dealt 4 damage to Einsar. He felt dizzy, rubbing the spot where he had just beaten him and blaming him. Is it necessary to hit the head? Sorry, my mistake. He tried to control his anger. Because of that, the whole person trembled and tried to laugh. Okay, this time use your fist to hit me. Kang Tae-san has some thoughts in his heart. Or I'll go crazy if I hit your head again. Got it, then, he put strength into his fist and hit him hard in the middle of his chest. You have dealt 2 damage to Einsar. He asked again, do you understand what I mean? Kang Tae-san said, pointing to his fist. You're talking about damage varying with the weapon. He laughed and explained. That's right, that's quick. That's why adventurers only use 1 weapon. For example, if you use a glove with 50 attack power and a sword with 20 attack power at the same time. If he attacks with a sword, he deals 20 damage. If hit with gloves, it deals 50 damage. There is no way to deal 70 damage. He didn't say anything but asked questions. It's obvious, if it were possible to combine the attack power of multiple weapons, then everyone would be carrying a bunch of weapons. That's why we only focus on 1 weapon to increase proficiency. Einsar immediately raised the question. But isn't that very inconvenient? Fighting with only 1 weapon is silly. In a life and death battle, of course he would use everything he could. He didn't just fight with weapons, but with his fists, arms, shoulders, and whatever else he could. Kang Tae-san expressed that when that happened, he could only do very little damage. Is that so? Einsar raised his arms proudly. That's right, but those who worship the goddess Lebeninov don't like that. Our body is a weapon, and the weapon is also our body. That's it, you shouldn't differentiate between those 2 things. That's why I created the Iraqi weapon magic. After a long period of research, he could not only combine basic skills, but also combine the attack power of all equipment. A light flashed in Kang Tae-san's head, he muttered, combining attack power, he nodded. That's right, in other words, if you have a sword with 20 attack power and a gauntlet with 50 attack power, then you can deal 70 damage if you hit them. So what about the applicability? Yes, it doesn't just work on weapons, but on other parts of the body. Punch it with your hands, ram it with your shoulders, kick it with your feet, all attacks can deal 70 damage. Kang Tae-san then smiled secretly thinking, doesn't that mean my entire body is a weapon? With this skill, I can use all the equipment that was previously considered useless. It doesn't seem like much now, but once I get through the labyrinth and get high-end equipment. He excitedly concluded, this is a perfect skill. It can even be considered a main skill. Einsar raised his hand and asked, I know you have patience, but this skill is something ordinary adventurers cannot comprehend. Even if you work hard all your life, do you want to learn it? Of course. He looked at him with eyes full of determination. He laughed appreciatively, still with that decisive attitude. All right. Einsar reached out and touched his shoulder, a golden light surrounded the 2 of them. Now, relax your whole body. Unlike other skills, this skill is created by ourselves, so it can be easily imparted. Most importantly, because my proficiency is 100%. You will receive it without any problem. The system has been updated at the same time, basic skills and shield magic have been combined with Iraqi weapon magic. Basic skills, swordsmanship combined with Iraq weaponry. Rays of light continuously flew into his eyes, Kang Tae-san felt surprised. A lot of techniques and knowledge are pouring into my head. I never thought that I could achieve them this easily. You have received the skill from the creator of weapon magic Iraq. You have received the highest level skill of Iraq weapon jutsu, the highest level skill, Iraq weapon jutsu, mastery, 1%. A skill for weapons and body. It is not yet complete, and there may be losses while imparting power. Passing down parallel skills. Einsar advised. It's best to practice it every day until you're completely fluent. And let me give you something too. Kang Tae-san did not hesitate to reach out his hand. No, I'll put my hand out too. Above is a small ring. This is a tarnished ring. Attack power +1. A ring that has been used by someone for a long time. It seemed like it was worth it at first. Einsar said shyly. It's a bit weak. I kept it to remind myself of that. Don't forget important things for the sake of profit. Please forgive me. Kang Tae-san received it and put it on his arm. No, this is more than enough for me. He thought, if it were in the past, I would have thrown it away because it was useless. But now this ring is as valuable as a sword. Einsar stroked his beard in thought and then expressed. I gave you everything I could. But if we have to break up now, it would be a pity. Anyway, it's still not possible to go down to the 3rd floor right away. Do you want to try fighting me? Why don't you try testing the skills you just learned before actually fighting? When Kang Tae-san saw him waving his hand like that, he immediately agreed. He summoned his shield to warn him. I got it. There is no reason to refuse. The two people stood facing each other. It was so quiet that only the sound of the wind could be heard. Suddenly a purple gas flew as fast as lightning towards Kong Tae-san. He also raised his shield to shield. Both people moved towards each other at the same time. The match was a landslide. The two energies are in strong harmony. In this maze, every action is evaluated. If you carefully observe even the useless rooms and find something, your exploration proficiency will increase. If you continuously block your opponent's attacks, your shield magic proficiency will increase. That's why we have to fight strong people. The two sides fought fiercely. The other person attacks, the other side defends. No one gives in to anyone. All matches are effortless. And of course, it's not meaningless. Not knowing how much time passed, Kong Tae-san tiredly lay down on the ground. He tried to open the system screen to see the situation. We've been fighting all day. Because I just received the skill. He reached out. Try your best to open the system. Current skills. Fight continuously. Proficient 3%. Every fight is likely to be carded. Every war can be very long. Thanks to the skill, you will not get exhausted easily. Thanks to it, I was able to fight S-rank monsters in a few days. I didn't choose solo mode because I used to only be able to get this skill by fighting other players. Einzar watched closer, put his hands on his hips, looked at him lying down and said, he possesses unbelievable senses and skills compared to a first-level adventurer. As expected, I was not mistaken. What do you think, Tae-san? Is it enough for you? He sat up and smiled. Yes. Sir. He sat down next to him and advised him. Good. So promise me two things. Tae-san, please speak. Now that he has mastered the Iraqi weapon magic, he can teach it to anyone. But if that person is a despicable person, then never teach him. If you violate it, I will find you and kill you myself. Kong Tae-san did not hesitate to express, I understand. Einzar continued, the second promise. If you discover anything regarding the goddess Lebeninov, please let me know. He hesitantly said, I don't think I'll see you again in the maze. Einzar shrugged. His eyes flashed with sadness. I don't expect much, I'm just hoping for a miracle. He looked at him, thinking silently, in order for Einzar to find the goddess, either Lebeninov could not die, or she could only die with Einzar. Unless something major happened, Lebeninov must have been killed by someone, before Einzar found her. Should I tell him? Will telling him help change the situation? Then, Kong Tae-san suddenly asked, do you want to know the location of goddess Lebeninov? He nodded, of course, finding someone is my most earnest wish. Hearing that, he suddenly became serious. Mr. Einzar, I know where she is. Einzar couldn't believe his ears. He jumped up and exclaimed. What? Kong Tae-san repeated his words. I said I knew where goddess Lebeninov was. He frowned and warned in a loud voice, don't joke. I have been wandering in this labyrinth for millennia, but I have not been able to find a single clue about you. So how could a first-floor adventurer like you? You said, you don't believe me, right? It's not surprising, but I have prepared a solution. You can believe in me, in my world there is an item that is connected to the labyrinth. Einzar immediately waved his hand in protest. Nonsense, the map of this labyrinth doesn't exist. He calmly explained. You will see that, although there is no map of the entire maze, there is a map that leads to living entities. He was startled and surprised at this moment. The whole person trembled and stuttered. Don't say it's the horn in Chiyu then. Your world has it? Right. An item that can reveal the location of the gods. Can only be found in the maze. My teammates have information about it. We have deciphered the location of the gods here. Back to the past again. Lee Tae-jon put the horn on the table and complained. Tae-san, look, I have to share it with you. It's so precious. I went all the way to the 89th floor to get it, but didn't know what to use it for. Oh, my god, they tease me. He then ate the cake and looked at her. Complaining again? Present. Remember that scene. You don't think. I thought it was useless information. But who would have thought I could use it this way? 78th floor, Hon Vu Library, 24th secret room. That is where goddess Lebeninov resides. This information was overwhelming for Einzar. Tears suddenly appeared in the corner of his eyes as he tried to cry out. Yes, the Hon Vu Library is there. I've never checked that place. That's right, that's the place. Kong Tae-san expressed, I think I have paid back his gratitude. But I didn't have time to finish the sentence. He leaned forward and hugged his shoulder blades gratefully. More than repaying the favor, I am grateful to you. I am truly grateful to you. I have never owed such great favor to anyone. You are my benefactor. Kong Tae-san was a little startled by his reaction. Looking down again at the hands that were holding me tightly. He said somewhat reluctantly, my shoulder hurt so much. Einzar awkwardly released his hand. I'm sorry, I got a little too emotional. He asked again, are you preparing to leave now? Einzar stroked his beard and thought for a while then said, it might be a bit difficult. The 78th floor is located very deep inside. It's a dangerous place. So we need to prepare carefully. But anyway, thank you again. Really, it's hard to express this feeling with just words. I wish I could somehow repay you. Finally, he took out another ring and showed it to her. He's quite talented. I believe you can hold this. Take it. Kang Tae-san took it and put it on his hand. It's the Twilight Ring. When using health plus 20, it looks like a ring belonging to the monks of a certain sect. It's the only one left now. In his heart, he silently exclaimed. If you're on easy mode and want quality items like this, you have to go to at least the 30th floor. Einsar expressed, normally I wouldn't give it to a first floor adventurer. But I see you're a hardworking guy. Hope my guess is correct. Kang Tae-san smiled softly and replied. I'm not allowed to be lazy, so you can count on me. I'm very happy to hear that. Okay, let's prepare, you can start now, he said, waving his hand and smiling. We finally found a clue, so we can't delay. Thank you Tae-san, see you again. Having said that, he laughed loudly and excitedly and left. Oh goddess, here I come, I'm the only one who still remembers you. And I will come find you. Kang Tae-san watched him leave and couldn't help but think to himself. Will he find the goddess? If found, would she still be alive? Or dead? Regardless, it will be a long time before I see Einsar again. After this incident, Kang Tae-san returned to the practice room with the big rats. He was currently stepping on the body of one, looking proudly at the result. Wandering around the first floor, agility is now 25. Even if it's a big mouse, I can handle it easily. But the system reports that you have activated spiritual enhancement. The gap between your soul and your opponent is too great. You get nothing from your opponents. Kang Tae-san was a bit surprised and looked at the large rat's body at his feet. So the enhancement stops when the distance becomes too far. A bit disappointing, but not surprising. Perhaps my improvement on the first floor only goes so far. I should head towards the second floor. But, must visit this place first. There is a place in the maze called the secret room. Each floor has at least one secret room. A great reward is there waiting for those who explore. Magic staff, suspension rings, elixirs that permanently increase stats, significant support items for the destiny of overcoming the labyrinth. Only one person can enter the mysterious room. The contention is very fierce on easy mode. That's why I missed out on many bargains. In short, it depends more on luck and experience than skill. But this is single mode. Here, all the secret rooms are mine. Kang Tae-san opened the door full of curiosity. I wonder if the inside is the same as usual. Although the maze map is different in difficulty, it shares the same basic architecture, so the secret room also has the same characteristics. Here it is, there is only one entry, inside is a completely empty room. A room that most players ignore because they think it's useless. Secret rooms exist in such places. He went into the room, walked around the bricks on the wall to examine. If the bricks don't have any special changes, there's a high chance it can be found by tapping. In other words, just have to plow. Then he pulled out each brick from the wall and examined it. Press, rotate, pull out. If it doesn't work, try the next pill, or the next pill. Still fun, better than the room where I had to sit idle all week. Just like that, I don't know how long it took, he kept repeating those things, until the system rang a notification. Exploration proficiency, increased by 5%. Even more surprising, right after that, he touched a special brick. The wall split open on both sides, revealing an entrance. You are the first to find the secret room. You gain the title of adventurer, intelligence permanently increases by 3. At the end of the open room, a wooden chest was neatly placed. Kang Tae-san shouted happily. Here it is, the secret room reward. Before entering, he looked around and observed, it looked like he could open it right away, but it couldn't be that easy. Then, Kang Tae-san suddenly returned to the initially empty room. In the corner suddenly there was a large mouse lying curled up. He raised his foot and kicked it hard. Although the mouse did not die, he grabbed it by the tail and lifted it up. It continuously complained and struggled. Kang Tae-san coldly threw it into the secret room. Then quietly observed the situation. The mouse was thrown to the floor. The brick there fell down immediately. A fire fairy burst out, pulling an arrow from nowhere that stabbed straight into its body. Kang Tae-san had been observing for a while and concluded. Arrow trap? The first floor is exactly like a textbook. It doesn't seem like a difficult trap. He slowly walked forward and stepped on the sunken brick. All right. Where? Just in time, an arrow rushed towards him, but he caught it with one hand. Kang Tae-san threw the arrow for the system to analyze, then muttered to himself. Unlike normal first floor players. I've advanced incredibly, so if I focus enough, I can handle it. Having said that, he repeatedly stepped on the brick. I have about 7 arrows, right? The arrows were activated, quickly flying towards him. Kang Tae-san smiled confidently. Earn more from here. Kang Tae-san smirked confidently. On the floor, secret seals continuously shot out arrows. He quickly jumped up and grabbed 2 arrows. One shot from behind. Kang Tae-san tilted his head slightly to avoid it perfectly. He landed in a muttering place. Buying arrows from the store is such a waste. Free stuff like this is not easy to find. Thinking that, he continued to collect the arrows shot towards him. The system is continuously updated. Poison arrow, attack bonus 2, poisons the target. Paralysis arrow, attack bonus 2, paralyzes target. However, it depends on level and stats. It probably won't work. See this. Kang Tae-san just looked back at the 2 arrows in his hand. If you look closely, you can see that they have different colors. All kinds of arrows are being launched at me. That's fine, should we go back to the first trap? He said it and then quickly did it. Back to the beginning. A shower of arrows was released. It didn't take long for Kang Tae-san to collect all the arrows. He looked into the bag. Quantity displayed is 100. Well then, it's time to present the main dish. He turned around, eyes aimed at the wooden chest in front of him. Kang Tae-san put his right foot back. Get the momentum and jump up. His whole body rushed forward. Then land gently. He thought, if he only cared about overcoming the trap, he could block the arrow with his shield. But this is a maze. What is done must be perfect. Then he continued to activate the trap. The arrows flew down again. Kang Tae-san turned around. Flexible avoidance. Also use your foot to break arrows 1 and 2. Next, he used his bare hands to catch them again, 3, 4. An arrow suddenly rushed forward. But he did not flinch. Directly use the 2 arrows in your hand to cross them together. Create force to break 2 arrows approaching you. Finally, 5. But it doesn't stop there. Kang Tae-san continued to step on another brick. The next brick will be the 9th brick. So the number of arrows aimed at me will be 9. At this moment, he activated his first attack. This leaves freedom to breathe for the next 10 seconds. Next, Kang Tae-san blared loudly. Vision proficiency will increase by 2%. He rushed towards the arrow itself. In a blink of an eye, the target was locked. 3 in front, 2 on the left, 3 on the right, 1 near the foot. It will be difficult to separate everything. So, you have stepped up your senses in a critical situation. You receive a special active skill. Enhance senses. Kang Tae-san tilted his head back, avoiding an arrow. There are still 8 arrows coming. He used his hand to catch 2. The other one is the same as before. Use braking technique. 5 shots left. Suddenly an arrow shot straight to his chest. He immediately used the deflection skill, turning its attack direction around the waist. Even though it hits, it only takes 8 damage. Only 4 arrows left. Kang Tae-san in this situation silently calculated. I can withstand this amount of damage. Thanks to the previous skill, I have more space to move. All the remaining arrows flew from the same direction. If so then. Kang Tae-san caught an arrow. Use it as a sword. Directly cut off the remaining 3 arrows. Now comes the final pitfall. According to what happened, the final trap will contain 10 arrows. However, when he actually looked up, there were more than 10 shots fired at me. 15 star arrows. Are you kidding? He gritted his teeth and struggled to step back. Still using the same familiar tactics. Break more than half of them. More than I thought. I won't be able to block them all at this rate. But the more arrows there are, the easier it is for their orbits to overlap. If you can't dodge, then. Kang Tae-san raised his hand to shield. The arrows immediately stuck to his arm. You take 16 damage. You take 15 damage. You have been seriously injured. Every drop of blood dripped onto the floor. Kang Tae-san endured the pain, put his hand around the wound and groaned softly. Warning system. You are bleeding. Your health is continuously decreasing. He tried to endure the pain, pulled out the arrows in his hand and cursed softly. Damned. It really hurts. But because of this, he unlocked more skills. You suffer terrible pain. You have received a special activation skill. Pain relief. Kang Tae-san sat down and bandaged his wound. Looking at the health bar right now, it was only 54 out of 140. He felt a bit lucky. Thanks to this, discomfort is reduced. But the level of penetration is still low, so it's still quite painful. If I hadn't tried this before, I would have fallen by now. Even though I was seriously injured and lost blood, I was still able to learn the skill. Then there will be no need to endure the attack when returning. Kang Tae-san walked to a switch on the wall. He reached out and pushed it down. Immediately after that, the holes that the arrows shot from were closed. All traps have been disabled. Finally, the right reward comes. Kang Tae-san opened the chest. Inside is a magic staff. He was a bit surprised. Is the staff already here? Even on difficult levels. It must appear at least from the 10th floor. Yet single mode is available right on the 1st floor. A weapon in the form of a staff. In that case, weapon information is displayed by the system. Fire Flame Staff. A staff used by apprentice magicians. It can create basic fireball magic. Kang Tae-san put the staff in his bag and thought, the fire staff has much higher value than other magic. This is just an average item in single star mode. Lee Tae-jan was unable to solve many mysterious rooms. So I have nothing to refer to. If that's true, things might get easier from now on. He left the secret room. Met the big rat again, who was mad. It rushed towards you. But he just tilted his body and was able to avoid it. Even though I can't use one hand due to injury. It seems like the rats are no longer a problem. The index is too large. Even though the mouse missed, it still pointed its fangs at him. Notification system, even if you are injured for a long time, you can still fight normally. You have received a special activation skill. Indomitable reason, delicious. Kang Tae-san raised his foot and kicked straight at the mouse. One move overwhelmed them all. After a while, he left this room. Go out to the lake to heal your wounds. When he drank the lake water, he immediately returned to his perfect state. The wounds also disappeared. The health bar is filled. Kang Tae-san opened the system panel to review the history. Let's review what skills we have. Special continuous activation skill, pain relief, mastery 1%. You can resist a little pain. However, your senses can still feel it. Special continuous activation skill. Enhance senses. 1% proficient. Your senses are enhanced. You may now feel a slight increase in sound. These two aren't bad. It may not be useful now. But as mastery reaches higher levels, its effectiveness will increase by a factor of 5. Special activation skill. Indomitable will. Costs 1 mana. 1% proficient. No matter how badly injured you are, your will to fight cannot be broken. You can ignore the wound and continue fighting within 10 seconds. These two can temporarily neutralize the wound. It's a bit difficult to learn. But it's worth it. Kang Tae-san took out his appraisal staff. Basic magic. Fireball. Costs 3 mana. 1% proficient. Launch a fireball. Deals more damage to enemies without fire resistance. Causes a burning effect on the target. He couldn't help but exclaim. As expected. This thing is the best deal. Looks like I got everything from the first floor. Time to go down to the second floor. The structure of the maze is very simple. Each floor has a staircase leading to the next floor and is guarded by a boss. Players just need to defeat the boss and move on. It would be great if you could easily defeat the boss with this simple structure. But if so, it wouldn't be single mode. Kang Tae-san pushed the door and walked in. Inside was a giant rat, its eyes were red and its claws were sharp, continuously making ferocious screams. Long time no see. The giant rat frantically rushed towards him. Kang Tae-san raised his shield and prepared himself for battle. This represents everything that the first stage of single mode has. It used to be the 10th floor boss in easy mode. It's unknown how many players were torn to pieces by its fangs. But with my experience so far, I'm not surprised. Come on. Monster rats aren't the type that floor 1 players can defeat. That's why Lee Tae-jon had to use a trick. Her method is knowing that the maze boss cannot leave its cell. She filled the room with oil and set it on fire. A very reasonable method if given enough time. Since she was the only one who survived solo mode, it could be said that the strategy was almost perfect. But that wasn't the kind of fighting this labyrinth expected. Kang Tae-san took the staff from his bag, ready to fight. The giant rat madly rushed towards him. Immediately, he activated the fireball spell. A burst of fire shot straight at it. To become stronger, you need to have a truly perfect fight. You deal 14 damage to the giant rat. The big mouse was thrown out. Its entire body was burned by fire and it screamed in pain. Kang Tae-san uses a system to check for burns. Evaluation of success. The giant rat caught fire. He couldn't help but exclaim. Great, burn status deals damage every 10 seconds. Still a long way to go. I thought. He took out his bow and shot again. You have dealt 7 damage to the giant rat. Check for poisoning status. Evaluation failure. Mice are not poisoned. Kang Tae-san has no intention of giving up. He took out another arrow and aimed it at the mouse. When hit by an arrow, an electric shock-like stream of spiritual energy spreads down its entire body. The target is paralyzed. The target is immobilized until receiving the next attack for 10 seconds. Kang Tae-san continued to take out the arrows that he had collected with admiration. Arrows have effects. They are really worth what you pay. Alright. Just plow. He was all about strategy. Plan and execute at the same time. Paralyze the boss with arrows, preventing it from moving. You have dealt 8 damage to the giant rat. Check for poisoning status. Evaluation of success. The giant rat has been poisoned. Along with attacks, adverse effects will be added to deal continuous damage. The mouse's entire body was now pinned with countless arrows. It writhed on the ground but was not dead yet. Still glaring madly at Kang Tae-san. He also did not stop attacking. Summoned the shield again to prepare for the next move. This match is more like cat and mouse than a challenge. He swung his shield. Hit the mouse hard on the head. It was immediately weakened. Damage becomes more effective. You have dealt 13 damage to the giant rat. The expression on his face became more serious. When it has suffered too many injuries, the rat enters a state of rage. His big, flashing eyes looked very scary. This was also within his expectations. This method also has limitations. That time is almost here. When its health drops, rampage mode is activated when its health drops below 20%. In the past, when he and others also beat it to this state, everyone ran away in panic. My paralysis arrow no longer works. Help me. I can't run anymore. It's so fast. It will change in time. I'm about to. Warning system. The giant rat was indignant. It has entered a state of madness. Kang Tae-san's eyes were full of determination and he rushed forward. Phase 2 begins. From now on it will be a close fight. The giant rat's feet kicked hard on the ground, creating momentum to dive towards Kang Tae-san. At the same time, it also raised its sharp claws to strike down. But he quickly used his shield to block the attack. However, because the protection level is still weak, the shield only helps him minimize damage, so he still has to suffer the remaining 8 damage. Even though he was injured, Kang Tae-san persevered. With my current strength, I can't stand it. The strength index is only 11. To drain its health, you must use strategies based on your strongest index. Flexible. After finishing speaking, he used his shield to deliver a powerful blow to the giant rat's body. It turned around and swung its claws to hit him. But Kang Tae-san dodged flexibly. The mouse missed, so its claws stuck straight to the floor. But chances are it's temporarily unable to move. He immediately jumped up to attack. It is at this moment. You have dealt 7 damage to the giant rat. The mouse screamed in pain. It frantically attacked harder. Kang Tae-san uses a shield to reduce damage so only 5 points are deducted. After that, he continued to fight. You have dealt 7 damage to the giant rat. Stamina in combat has increased by 1%. This time the mouse used its sharp teeth to grab his shield. Kang Tae-san gritted his teeth and endured. It's so hard to breathe. My body won't be able to handle it if this continues. That's it then. This time, he decided to use his sword to attack. Along with that, activate breath holding for the next 10 seconds. With this combination, he successfully dealt 8 damage to the mouse. In just the next 10 seconds, Kang Tae-san created many slashes on its body. Also continuously create 8 damage. The mouse couldn't help but swung its hand and swept across a path, and unfortunately Kang Tae-san suffered all 24 points of damage from this attack. He struggled to purse his lips, 24 star points. At this rate, I can only take a few more hits. Including evasion. I can handle 8 hits from it. Kang Tae-san immediately did it. He activated dodge. Thus the next attack will be avoided. At the same time, he rushed forward to face the giant rat head-on. After dodging to the side, he swung his sword to take advantage of the loophole and slashed. You counterattack successfully. Enemies take significant damage. Finally, Kang Tae-san pointed straight at the tip of the sword. A blow stabbed straight into the middle of its chest. This dimension deals 20 damage to giant rats. It screamed loudly in pain. Then he fell to the ground and died on the spot. Updated system. You have defeated the giant rat. Kang Tae-san wiped his sweat and exclaimed. Taking it down was easier than I thought. Now, it's time to receive the reward. Look at the bulletin board that continuously broadcasts information. He couldn't help but be happy. You have single-handedly defeated a formidable enemy. Agility permanently increases by 2. Mana permanently increases by 3, Strong Strike has been activated. Permanent Strength increased by 2. Permanent Agility increased by 3. You have leveled up. You are in your best form. Not unexpected. But it still feels great. It doesn't stop there. Yellow text appears. You have defeated the first floor boss. Basic reward. You have received a random stat increasing elixir. You have comprehended the mysterious elements of the first layer. Secret reward. Elixir increases the specified index. +2. Kang Tae-san received the bottles of elixir and said in surprise. Oh. These things are not easy to find even on floors over 50. He sat on the corpse of a giant rat. Without hesitation, pick up a bottle to drink. You have used a random stat increasing elixir. You have used the elixir to increase the specified index. The elixir's effect increases random stats. Permanent strength increased by 1. He looked at the information panel and decided. And the elixir is indicated. Of course I will choose strength. My strength has increased by 3 quickly. So great. I don't believe you right now. Kang Tae-san. Level 4. Mana 155. Mana 15. Strength 17. Intelligence 16. Agility 30. Attack +2. Defense +7. Target is at its best. Kang Tae-san looked at the 3 strength indicators. Intelligence and flexibility are somewhat satisfying. Getting these stats right on the first floor. Back when it was still at easy level. I used to have to do all kinds of tricks to increase my number. I also learned a skill. He pulled the information panel down to confirm. Counter-attack. I got it faster than expected. Its usefulness is equal to evasion. I have checked everything necessary. He stretched his arms and lay down on the giant mouse's back. Lying down. Suddenly Tae-san thought of something. That's right. I wonder what it's like out there. He jumped up. Use your hand to type and make a tutorial and post it on the forum. The World channel immediately displays the message. Kang Tae-san. Basic tactics for level 1 single combat mode. He looked at it and muttered. I posted a strategy guide to the community forum. Don't expect much either. The screen suddenly flashed brightly. This caught his attention. On the community forum, many people are also discussing with each other. Can someone take a picture of the way to the source of life? I was too worried to go. Worrying won't solve anything. Each person has a different position. You have to follow what the shop owner says. Lee Tae-jon also gave advice. At the source you will be safe. So please try to continue. If he stayed here any longer, he would be tormented by hunger. Someone left an exclamatory comment. This is like a survival race. It's interesting. Kang Jun-hyuk pushed the blue-haired boy's shoulder and smiled. There must still be a possibility of us coming back alive. It's better than dying without knowing anything. Right? Kang Tae-san looked at the current community forum and felt a bit confused. The above message continues to run. Solo player Lee-san, I have reached the fountain of life. Thanks for the help. Kang Jun-hyuk responded, congratulations. Be careful not to die on the first floor. Kang Tae-san reminisced. The community in this life is different from the previous life. If it were in the past, player Lee-san on the first floor would be constantly begged by large rats. Please help me. My legs. Player Park Chan-won. It's not like I'm dying of hunger. But what's the point of living like this? I want to end it immediately. I have to say, back then no one shared tactics. There are only desperate pleas for help. When we later arrived, everyone's spirits were broken. No one said a word. Some people even commit suicide. However, there is one person who is an exception. Lee Tae-san. At this time she was also messaging on his community forum, is that guy Kang Tae-san? Where is he? I haven't seen him since my last post. The timeline is changing little by little. Kang Tae-san is now standing in front of the stairs leading to the second floor. He looked at it as he put on gloves and silently decided that he should leave. A few hours ago, in the grocery store, Kang Tae-san decided to get a martial arts master's gloves, which protect his hands, as well as help you punch a little more painfully. Attacking him won. The exiled king asked skeptically, do you really want to buy this? Do you also use dress grips? So it was the crazy old man who taught him Iraqi weapons. Kang Tae-san was also surprised and asked. Do you know that day? The two of us will die here together. Of course we know. So you only plan to sell meat? If you catch the boss, can you get the skin and teeth too? I won't do that. It would be better to sell them separately. The exiled king took a drag of his cigarette, then exhaled and laughed. Aha! I know what you mean. You're looking for the blacksmith, right? Kang Tae-san was on his way down to the second floor, he recalled. Hafren, the mysterious blacksmith. Lee Tae-jon said that if it weren't for him, she wouldn't have been able to go deep into the maze. He said he had to go deeper to find the blacksmith. Must hurry up. This place is slightly deeper than the maze entrance. A place where creatures that die when stabbed with a knife can still exist. The power here is not too suspicious. Second floor mission. Begin. Mission notification system. Defeat the boss of the second floor and move on. Award. Elixir increases mana for beginners. Secret reward. Don't know yet. Kang Tae-san was also quite surprised when reading the mission board. Mana increasing elixir, isn't it a rare elixir that even stores don't sell? Sounds promising. While checking, a series of notifications appeared, surprising him a bit. God, that's too much. He opened it and responded. What is up? Solo player Kang Jun-hyuk immediately responded. Are you still there? Not only him but also many people sent messages. Tae-san, I have a question, Kim Tae-din sent it. Thanks to you, I reached the spring of life. Thank you so much Kim So-hyun, it's Tae-san. It's Tae-san. Lai-san, is Tae-san. He's alive. Look at such a series. He was a bit confused. Where should I start? While wondering, a message jumped in. Kang Jun-hyuk asks to talk to Kang Tae-san. He couldn't help but exclaim. Choose the right time. However, he still accepted the request. After connecting, two people are linked to private forum channels. As soon as Kang Jun-hyuk jumped in, he shouted. I'm not dreaming. Can you talk? He crossed his arms and asked. What is up? He scratched his head and smiled in response. Nothing. I just want to make sure our savior is still alive. Why don't you take care of yourself? Kang Tae-san suddenly thought. Honestly, I don't expect the people imprisoned here to be pushed to their limits. We'll choose to face the challenge just because of a community post. You said, even though it's none of my business, did you risk your life just for a community post that made Kang Jun-hyuk cry in confession? I have no choice. Everyone is pushed to the limit. We need a fulcrum. Even though it's very small. I understand. Just thinking about that time. Also shivered. Really? He is the best. Kang Tae-san replied without emotion. All right. Kang Jun-hyuk tearfully recounted. I know that too. If you don't enter the maze, you can't find food. No one from the labyrinth answered me. We became more and more hungry. People say that when you're so hungry, you start eating your own limbs. You know. And there's no one to talk to. It's so terrible that it makes people crazy. At that time, I even carried my hungry stomach to beg the gatekeeper Brockman. Gatekeeper, sir. Do you have excess food? Please don't ignore me. And I thought I would run quickly through the maze and eat whatever I could find. But in that critical situation, when I saw your post, I felt like I had the strength to wake up. Maybe it's just a small article for you. But for us, it is extremely important. Taejon was the first to succeed and others followed. As soon as he finished speaking, a thought suddenly flashed through Kong Tae-san's head. Is that so? It's true that Taejon still considers community forums as a place to vent all his emotions. Perhaps her success was the catalyst. Instill confidence in them that if she can do it, others can too. Then he asked, how many people had successfully hunted big rats? Kang Jun-hyuk replied. It's just me and Taejon. Hearing that, he also looked at him silently evaluating. I don't know what about Taejon. But this is the first time I talked to this person. Perhaps in his previous life he risked his life to fight and die. Since he won the big rat war, he must be as talented as Lee Taejon. He can be considered an ordinary person who has survived a lot through his writing. Thinking so, he immediately mentioned more. Soon, you will meet an old and strange NPC. You are always looking for a god. He will suddenly attack you. If you react properly, you will get many useful things from him. He treats players based on their attitude. Tell Taejon when she wakes up. Kang Jun-hyuk scratched his face and awkwardly agreed. He looked at him suspiciously and asked. What do you mean? He hugged his chest with an unwilling expression as he spoke. It's just, you told us too many things. I respect your help. But even though we're going through the maze together, we're still competitors. Of course I'm weaker than you now. But if you keep telling us this much information, I'll be able to catch up with you quickly. So, it's not what I'll do with you when that day comes. But I can't just accept from you what you have to work hard to get. Kang Tae-sang couldn't listen anymore, so he went up and flicked his head to warn him. He said nonsense again. Kang Jun-hyuk protested. I'm serious. He laughed and asked, what kind of competition is this? We are all humans, also facing the impending destruction of the planet. The reason I share information with you is simple, to prevent you from getting lost in dangerous places. As you know, many people have died because of following my tactics. So what can you do if you just know it? The important thing is to realize it. Can you catch up with me just because I gave you information? Kang Jun-hyuk broke down and admitted that I hadn't even made it past the first floor, so it was like showing an axe to a worker. He encouraged, it's okay, just try your best. Suddenly he stopped. A dark shadow appeared briefly in my head. Ah, I just remembered, is it almost that time? How is the player community these days? Kang Jun-hyuk replied, normal. I guess so. Well, players in other modes also talked to me recently. However, it seems there are people who want to compete. I don't understand why, so I'm still ignoring them for now. Kang Tae-san implicitly understood. People who don't understand the problem are starting to lose control. There's nothing else. He decided to leave. Don't forget to remind me before. Okay, I understand. Well then, hello. Good job. Kang Jun-hyuk also happily expressed. Yes, you too. Kang Tae-san exited the forum. The scene of the second floor appeared again. Solo battle mode. Second floor. The first floor only serves as a game guide. It is said that the second floor is the real beginning. Kang Tae-san followed the path to a room in an ancient castle. Inside there was a group of Goberlin waiting. He did not hesitate to kick the door open. The system immediately prompted. Goberlin holding a bow appeared. Goberlin appeared with a sword. Goberlin holding a shield appeared. They aggressively rushed towards him. Kang Tae-san smiled calmly. He took out his bow and arrow and took a provocative stance. All right. Come here. Look at the demons that are gradually getting closer. Kang Tae-san thought to himself. If the Goberlin clan comes alone, they are very easy to deal with. But it will be much more difficult if they learn to rely on the majority to compensate for their shallow intelligence. At this moment, the ferocious ghosts opened their mouths wide. Kang Tae-san strongly raised his bow. Arrow them into your opponent's heart. He dealt 10 damage to Goberlin. The target was paralyzed just like that. At the same time, a monster took advantage of the opportunity to attack Kang Tae-san. But he quickly used the shield to cover. He exclaimed, that's reckless. But it's too bad, try blocking this attack with that shield. Seems to understand. The angry monster roared. Without waiting any longer, Kang Tae-san punched its face hard. Just because of that, it caused 3 damage to Goberlin. Adding 4 more damage causes it to lie motionless on the ground. After that, he took out his sword and said with a cold face, goodbye. At this time, Goberlin shouted loudly, silently asking for his life. Seeing that, Kang Tae-san replied. Screaming is useless. Then, he used his foot to step on the shield. Used the sword to pierce the monster. Seeing teammates murdered. 2 crazy Goberlins rushed to attack Kang Tae-san. Suddenly he discovered something. His eyes stared at the opponent's sword. Kang Tae-san exclaimed in surprise. A long sword. Then let's fight. He calmly observed the situation. After that, he put all his energy into his arms. His eyes steadily stared at his opponent. Just heard a loud noise. Explosion and destruction of an entire building. Notification system. Rusty sword. Attack power +2 will be useful in some way. Kang Tae-san exclaimed. This is much better. This equipment combination will be better than heavy shields. Wooden shield, defense +3. Small size. Can block most attacks. But strong blows can break it. Suddenly, the door slowly opened. A beam of light flashed. Kang Tae-san was startled and looked after him. Notification system. You have found the Rakurata's altar. Enjoy your first discovery. Intelligence permanently increases by 1. Mana permanently increases by 2. Kang Tae-san exclaimed. The gods in this labyrinth are very diverse. There are friendly people. Some people are hostile. There are even gods who like to tease or love players. However, most gods only view humans as entertainment. Rakuratas. God of strife and death. I can feel it. Above the door is a power darker and greater than anything. Rakurata's altar. An altar built by those who serve Rakuratas. It is the gate that leads to you. Rakuratas can materialize his influence here. Kang Tae-san expressed. I can understand why Lee Tae-jan ran away as soon as he saw this. Suddenly a great power appeared. Kang Tae-san silently wondered. This is the power of God. Notification system. Side quests. Rakuratas wants to challenge you. The person went to the temple. If you agree, you will be challenged. Succeed and you will receive a reward. The reward will be determined by Rakuratas after evaluating your performance. Read these lines. Kang Tae-san said with a smirk. I'm not a coward. Accept. Side quest begins. Rakuratas is interested in your decision. At this time, Rakuratas is changing. Sources of energy radiated around him. Covering the whole space is a mystery. Making Kang Tae-san confused. At the same time, the system announced. You have clashed with Rakurata's servant. Dissolve. Rakuratas' trial defeats Rakuratas' servant. Dissolve. Seeing such a situation, Kang Tae-san thought to himself. It wears armor. It's hard to find a loophole. This armor is annoying. That bastard is ridiculously strong. Rakurata's servant stepped out to face Kang Tae-san. He rushed to attack him directly. That did 25 damage to Kang Tae-san. With that blow just now, Kang Tae-san exclaimed. If the damage can be this great even if I block the attack. Using a shield isn't much of a deal. Holding 2 rusty swords in his hands, Kang Tae-san exclaimed. Haven't played duel in a while. Don't hesitate any longer. He immediately rushed to attack his opponent. Although the force of the attack is not average. This made Rakurata's servant tremble. The servant Rakuratas quickly took a few steps back. Kang Tae-san wondered. It didn't even move. This guy is much stronger than me. Cannot continue to attack directly anymore. In this case, it seemed he had understood something. Kang Tae-san immediately turned and left. Rakurata's servants quickly followed. Run to a certain location. Kang Tae-san suddenly stopped. He turned his back. Confront the enemy. Kang Tae-san said. Looks like I'm the faster one. Just for a moment. He dealt 6 damage to Rakurata's servant. Kang Tae-san thought to himself. My sword is stuck. No problem. Continue. Kang Tae-san deals 4 additional damage to Rakurata's servants. Then adds 6 damage to the servant. Kang Tae-san recalled. Because I already have the Iraqi weapon magic. All I need to do is get close to the opponent. And prevent him from using his power easily. I have used this method many times before. Looks like it worked this time too. This surprised Rakuratas. Kang Tae-san silently exclaimed. Easier than I thought. Because it's still on the 2nd floor. So this place must have been balanced to reduce difficulty. He is the god of conflict and death, he probably wanted an epic battle, forcing himself to unleash all his skills, but unfortunately. Rakuratas used your power. In return, Rakurata's area of influence was reduced. Rakurata's servant has regained his intelligence stat. Rakurata's servant has regained his skills. Kang Tae-san couldn't help but be surprised. The servant's eyes flashed with hatred. Kang Tae-san now encountered Rakurata's servant. Kang Tae-san stood still and silently watched the situation. Rakurata's servant stood silently for a moment. Then, he reached out and pulled out the sword. The sharp sword reflected flashes of light. Then, Rakurata's servant threw the sword forward. Kang Tae-san thought to himself. There is no longer a label in its name. And the atmosphere is also very different. He gently walked closer to Rakurata's servant. Kang Tae-san thought to himself. Now it has intelligence. The previous method may no longer work. Suddenly, Rakurata's servant attacked. A proud expression stared at Kong Tae-san to provoke. He tried with all his strength to support it. That's why he took 13 damage. Then add 11 more damage. Kong Tae-san silently asked in confusion. What's going on? Even its way of moving is different. Kong Tae-san was knocked far back. Just like that, he was hit for 25 damage. Kong Tae-san thought to himself. Attacks are more precise and powerful. Just like that of a true knight. What's more, this is the first time I use a weapon, but can't control it. Not when pushed to the limit. Something like this can happen again. I want to know how to learn it. In this maze, every action is evaluated. After each certain level, any special ability will be described as a skill. And perhaps this is the highest skill a person can have. I want to learn it. Kong Tae-san held the sword firmly in his hand. He said. All right. In swordsmanship you are better than me. Have to admit that. But I am a player, and players cannot only have sword skills. Kong Tae-san burst into flames and rushed towards Rakurata's servant. Realized the situation is dangerous. He quickly responded. Suddenly, Kong Tae-san disappeared in the blink of an eye, making him confused. Kong Tae-san suddenly appeared behind him. Then he loudly provoked. I'm here. So agile, he dealt 6 damage to Rakurata's servant. Through anger, Rakurata's servant immediately turned back. The blade continuously slashed towards Kong Tae-san. He calmly smiled and said. Stop it, it won't work. Kong Tae-san has activated deflection. The next attack will be deflected. Because of that, he suffered 15 damage. Unyielding, Kong Tae-san continued to activate his attack without warning. Kong Tae-san deals 6 more damage to Rakurata's servants, with an additional 5 damage to him immediately after. But in return, Kong Tae-san himself suffered 11 damage. Not willing to lose, Kong Tae-san dealt 6 damage to Rakurata's servant. He continuously attacked the enemy. Get combo skills. Kong Tae-san silently exclaimed. Okay, thanks for that skill. But be quiet for now. Soon he dealt 13 damage to Rakurata's servant. Evaluate the performance of burns. Evaluation of success. Rakurata's servant was hit. Kong Tae-san silently cursed. Damn. How can I completely kill him? I'm almost out of mana, I have 5 mana left, and my health is 70, but if I retreat now, I'll be in a difficult position. There's nothing left to lose anymore. Don't hesitate any longer. Kong Tae-san bet his life on this attack. He rushed like a rocket toward Rakurata's servant. Recognized the problem. He aggressively rushed to fight. Unexpectedly, Kong Tae-san was careless and let his opponent stab him directly in the chest. That's why he suffered 80 damage. Kong Tae-san was seriously injured. At the same time, the ring was activated again. The sure kill attack is disabled. All damage is reduced to 0 within 1 second. Kong Tae-san has turned the situation around. He strongly used 2 swords to stab his opponent directly, causing Rakurata's servants to have no time to react. In the blink of an eye, his head was no longer intact. The opponent's head falls to the ground. Kong Tae-san was now weakly sitting on the ground, looking after him. The face of the servant Rakurata's gradually appeared. He smiled mockingly. Good fight, brave boy. Kong Tae-san was victorious over Rakurata's servant. Rakurata's was very pleased to hear these words. Kong Tae-san lay flat on his back on the ground. Angry exclamation, satisfied with something. Suddenly changed the mission. It's unfair. What an asshole. Besides, Kong Tae-san won over Rakurata's servant. He received a large amount of experience. You will level up. In addition, Kong Tae-san has evolved into his best form. Single-handedly defeated a strong opponent. Activate spiritual enhancement. Kong Tae-san wondered. How strong have I become? Status window. The system responded immediately. Kong Tae-san. Level 6. Vitality 190. Mana 22. Intelligence 25. Attack plus 5. Defense plus 2. Player is at his best. Kong Tae-san exclaimed. A total of 17 stat points increase. Adds 30 vitality and 5 mana. It's too much. Does it drop equipment or items? I was looking forward to it. Response system. You have passed the test of Rakurata's. You will be rewarded based on Rakurata's assessment of you. Rakurata's is very pleased with your performance in the match. Rakurata's wishes to give you a reward. Kong Tae-san expressed confusion. Are you kidding? He almost missed me. What reward? That is the area of influence of Rakurata's that has shrunk. Rakurata's presents you with a bonus. You have been rewarded with the sword ritual of Rakurata's. The ceremonial sword of Rakurata's is the sword used by worshippers of Rakurata's. The blade is stained red with the blood of the sacrifices. Kong Tae-san was surprised. Did you see wrongly? Am I allowed to receive this? This is not the kind you can get on the second floor. Kang Tae-san passed the difficult test. Additional rewards will be given. He received an internal skill. Proof of effort. Kang Tae-san asked confused. This is how you repay me for your efforts, inner proof of effort. 1% proficient. He proved his fighting spirit. It helps you strengthen in battles with enemies. Read these newslines. Kang Tae-san silently thought. An acceleration skill? Or is it muscle strength? Or what? The gods personally gave it to them, so it must be a genuine item. It's not the end. What else? Suddenly, he was lost in a mysterious world. There was an announcement that made Kang Tae-san unable to blink. It turned out that Rakuratas offered him an apostle contract. Kang Tae-san muttered in surprise. Apostolic contract? What is it? There are no comments. You can only choose, you are faced with a choice. Wondering between your options. Remember that time, the system warned. In return, Rakurata's area of influence will be reduced. Remembering this, he pondered thoughtfully. It seems like the gods will also be punished. If they want to influence players. Rakuratas wanted to turn himself into an apostle even if he had to be punished. But, despite being suggested as something beneficial, the party holding the contract is still a god. He always arbitrarily made the trials difficult and behaved erratically. Would it really be beneficial to recommend from such a person? Even if he has good intentions. No, I might have to live my whole life as a puppet or a slave. Need to refuse. Thinking of this, he immediately reached out and pressed the refuse button. He refused Rakurata's offer. The apostolic contract has been revoked. When he finished, he sighed and spoke. Luckily he wasn't angry after being rejected. Suddenly, the system screen appeared. Side quest begins. Rakuratas acknowledges your excellent performance in the last challenge. He wants to test you again. Conditions: kill enemies on the second and third floors and return. Rakuratas will decide the reward based on what you show. Kang Tae-san frowned, not wanting to. How can I trust someone who once stabbed me? Just like that, he refused the side quest. Another notification sent. There is writing on it. The reward will be decided by Rakuratas based on what you show. Kang Tae-san smiled and expressed. Okay, but a simple quest like this probably won't trigger psychic enhancement. He accepted the mission. Rakuratas is interested in your choice. Go to a small shop. King Exile asked. Why are you here already? Kang Tae-san walked over to answer. I have to buy some things. The exiled king asked further. Are you planning to buy elixir? It must have been me, thinking I would need them. Kang Tae-san thought to himself. I didn't intend to linger on the lower floors. But if those trials continue to appear without being resolved, there may be trouble later. Suddenly, the exiled king noticed the glowing sword on his body. The old man asked. You, that sword. Did you get it from that pervert Rakuratas? It seems like he's obsessed with you. Because he likes to fight. Kang Tae-san wondered. Do you know? Of course, is there something here that we don't know? You can't imagine how many talented people have died because of his crazy habits. The type that likes to expand into other people's territory. Have Rakuratas been taking advantage of others for a long time? Can I ask you this question? Do you know what an apostolic contract is? Rakuratas proposed that contract to you, right? I refused because there was no explanation about it. That's the right decision. It's not an easy choice. That guy's contract. He did this many times. The exiled king replied. Sorry, but I cannot answer your question. All I can help you with is fulfilling your duty as a restaurant owner. There's nothing I can do, that's the law of the contract. Kang Tae-san was confused, contracted, but what else? That's why we're tied to this place. If you already have everything you need, quickly prepare and go. So see you next time. Okay, I'll see you on the next floor if you come back. After that, Kang Tae-san broke up with the king in exile. Are you going somewhere? He mumbled a question. Now I remember. Is it time to meet? Kang Tae-san texted and asked. Anyone? Lee Tae-jon answered. It's Tae-san. Hello. Kang Jun-hyuk happily greeted. Hey, Kang Tae-san asked curiously. So, have you two met the Holy Knight yet? I met you. But, he is different from what you described. What do you mean? Suddenly, the old king in exile hit Kang Jun-hyuk in the face. Makes him angry. That old man. He just spit in my face and walked away. Kang Tae-san wondered. You couldn't block his attack. Is it still possible to prevent something like that? I have tried. But the body refused to move. I was overwhelmed and it ended like that. Lee Tae-jon continued. I also met him. But the outcome is the same as yours. I tried to move but couldn't. Kang Tae-san asked again. Then what? Do you follow him? Yes. He told me to go away. He said. You are useless. It seems that only those who can react to attacks are considered worthy and are treated well. Actually, the two old men and Rakiratas all have the same opinion. So, you two are here now. I'm hunting big rats. Me too. I want to level up even though I'm still at a low level. As for the others, there are some who hunt big rats. But I think they will take more time. Kang Tae-san thought to himself at this time. Are they still adapting? Next time I can give them information about what to encounter on the second floor. Kang Tae-san closed his eyes. Take a deep breath. Then speak. Now listen carefully. There is a boss on the second floor. It is called a giant rat. An upgraded version of the big mouse. Its physical strength is over 2000. Even when blocking its attacks, you will still take damage. So be careful. Kang Jun Hyuk wondered. How can you catch a monster like that? Kang Tae-san replied coldly. Think for yourself. I can't say it all. If you think a little more, you'll find a way. Also, remember to inform others. Don't risk going through the red door. And don't get killed. Just finished speaking. Lee Tae-jon replied. Yes, thank you. Kang Jun Hyuk replied confidently. I will try my best. Okay, good luck. Kang Tae-san expressed. Good, I told them everything I wanted them to know. Now then, let's get started. Side quest begins. Rakiratas recognized his excellent performance in the previous challenge. After that, Kang Tae-san stepped in to accept the side quest challenge. Holding the sword in his hand left by Rakiratas, Mr. Duong climbed high. Take the sword to illuminate the path. On one side, there are monsters silently watching Kang Tae-san. Even above your head, on a tall tree branch, there were also ferocious monsters watching. Suddenly, they rushed to attack him. Kang Tae-san calmly said, let's try a new skill. Right after that, Kang Tae-san activated the demonstration. Each monster was destroyed by Kang Tae-san. You feel it, I feel at ease. So, it helps reduce fatigue and nerves, which is good, right? All stats will increase and you will be revived. There are no limits, can I fight endlessly? As long as continuous combat conditions are guaranteed. Quite quality. However, depending on the situation, it can be used as a main skill. A loud noise rang out, smoke and dust filled the air. The giant monster has finally been defeated. Kang Tae-san suddenly discovered something. He wondered, is there a door like this in the maze? He walked up to the door and peered in to observe. Now, a world pushes light and flowers here. Kang Tae-san found the warrior's tomb. Kang Tae-san stared intently at the tombstone in front. It seems like this tombstone was erected a long time ago. Moss and vines grow around. The tombstone is also covered with a layer of dust. The announcement sounded. Enjoy your first discovery. Intelligence permanently increases by 1. Mana permanently increases by 2. Tae-san moved forward, then gently placed his hand on the tombstone. Suddenly a beam of light appeared. Emits blinding light. A tiny ghost appeared. It has a cute voice. Hello, adventurer. Kang Tae-san widened his eyes in surprise. You haven't finished speaking yet. The ghost quickly said goodbye and crawled inside the tombstone. Kang Tae-san frowned in confusion. Tae-san continued to walk forward. This time it hit harder towards the tombstone. The ghost appeared again. It's exciting. Oh yeah, adventurer. Nice to meet you. After that, it crawled back into the tombstone and said goodbye. Kang Tae-san's eyes became gloomy. Tae-san tried to patiently put his hand on the tombstone again. The ghost poked its head out. It looked uncomfortable. What are you doing? I told you to go. As soon as he finished speaking, his whole body was pulled out by Kang Tae-san. Tae-san squeezed the ghost in his hand. His face was full of murderous intent. Don't joke. Assign the task here. The ghost quickly escaped from Tae-san's hands. Pine floated in the atmosphere and then replied. Dare to request a mission from me. Do you know who I am? Kang Tae-san said. A dead warrior, nothing more. The ghost snorted and continued. This game is too easy. The system helps you know everything. It's really convenient, isn't it? No more having to put your life on the line in exchange for information. Kang Tae-san's eyes widened. You mean, this maze didn't have such a system before? The ghost replied, sticking out its tongue. No, we have it too. Kang Tae-san frowned. Tae-san silently observed the ghost. Who is this guy? He is different from the NPCs I have met. Kang Tae-san thought about it and then spoke again. Be quiet for a moment. So are you a mission or just an object? The ghost replied annoyed. Now you treat others as objects again. You have no heart. Ha, okay. I am a ghost. One person is dead. I am bound here to give you tasks. However, we cannot assign tasks to weak people. Kang Tae-san interrupted inexplicably. So why did you die at a low level? The ghost shouted angrily. You know nothing. It's all because of this damn maze. We should have been at a deeper level. I don't even know why I'm imprisoned here. Back to main topic. If you want to receive that quest, at least come back here after passing the 30th floor, kid. Kong Tae-san silently clicked. Tae-san thought, I must have seen it wrong. Maybe it's just a useless NPC. Thinking, he turned around and left. The ghost spoke. Goodbye. Adventurer. Suddenly, its eyes were attracted by the light reflected from the sword next to Kong Tae-san. It shouted loudly. Wait. That weapon. Doesn't it belong to Rakurata's? How do people get it? Kong Tae-san replied. Because I passed his trials. Of course. The ghost frowned. You passed Rakurata's trials. An unpredictable god. Done talking. It immediately changed its face, rubbing himself against Kong Tae-san's cheek. Hey, I changed my mind. I will entrust this task to you. Kong Tae-san is helpless. What's wrong with this guy? The ghost flew around Kong Tae-san and then spoke. Shouldn't you have said it sooner? You are completely worthy of this mission. Come here. Let me explain. Kong Tae-san did not stop. He said. I don't want to hear. The ghost tried to fly after him. So strange. Didn't you say you wanted to accept the mission? Listen carefully. I was once a great warrior. The one who reached the deepest level before all the other players and quickly conquered this maze. However, after passing through the deepest layer, I have met a formidable opponent. We were forced to temporarily return to the 10th floor and rest. Even though there's only a little vitality left. But the monsters on the lower floors certainly can't penetrate our defenses. So I went to sleep peacefully. But the 10th floor boss doesn't know where he got the weapon that deals fixed damage. And he killed me in my sleep. Speaking of this, the ghost's voice was full of resentment. I, who was about to dominate the deepest level of the labyrinth, was killed by such a bastard. So I will assign you this task. Kill the boss on the 10th floor. Then I will reward you. The system displays a notification that the side quest has begun. The warrior resting in the maze wants you to take revenge for him. The condition is to kill the 10th floor boss. The reward will be decided based on the warrior's mood. Kong Tae-san frowned. Rewards are based on mood. Does that mean he cannot reward me if he wants? Well, a mission is still a mission. But, is this a series of quests? Kong Tae-san hesitated before the door opened to the next mission. The ghost immediately urged him. Is it acceptable? Kong Tae-san had no choice but to answer. Okay, I accept. See you later. Kong Tae-san walked inside. The ghost also followed him. It landed on Kong Tae-san's head. Kong Tae-san immediately asked. Don't tell me you'll follow me, okay? The ghost replied, of course. Come on, let's go, let's go. I don't know if you can kill him? So what's the point of staying in the grave forever? Besides, I'm already bored of that place. I can only go with you to the 10th floor. But it will be fun. I heard the quiet atmosphere disturbed by ghosts. Kong Tae-san couldn't help but feel bored. He whispered. I have to go with this talkative bastard all the way to the 10th floor. The ghost screamed like crazy. But where did that damn guy get the weapon? Of course, the fault is still ours for being careless. But weapons that deal fixed damage will not appear until later. There's no way a 10th floor monster could have it. If it were you, would you know? Kong Tae-san is helpless. Or not. Can you shut up now? The ghost quickly replied. What are you saying? You must also take responsibility for accepting my mission. Kong Tae-san silently thought. It would have been better if I didn't accept it. However, it would be nice to have more information. He raised his voice. You were once a warrior, right? So what did you do before entering the maze? The ghost crossed his arms and frowned. Why should we tell you? Kong Tae-san is indifferent. Okay, if you don't want to tell, then that's it. The ghost was helpless. It replied. Okay, since you're curious, I'll take care of it once. Kong Tae-san interrupted. I said you don't have to tell. The ghost continued. I was once a member of the royal family of the Carvard Empire. I am the eldest son and will soon inherit the kingdom. And yet, I am also an excellent person. When it comes to swordsmanship and wisdom, no one in the kingdom can compare to me. Every time there's a dance party, all the princesses surround me. Ah, what a glorious time. As he spoke, the ghost immersed himself in his glorious past. Kong Tae-san silently assessed. The way he talks sounds like a street thug. The ghost continued, then the world faded away. And I came here to save everyone. But then I. Kong Tae-san continued, died, while sleeping soundly on the lowest floor, no less. Kong Tae-san's cold words made the ghost's face pale. This bastard. It gritted its teeth full of indignation. Yes, I failed, I couldn't save the world. That mistake ruined everything. We must kill the person who killed us to release our anger. Kong Tae-san still didn't pay any attention to the ghost. He walked to the door in front of him to look. Is this the last place? The ghost frowned. Hey, you don't want to listen to my story, do you? Well, adventurers these days don't have any morals. The door opened, behind it was a group of blue monsters with white fangs. Each of them held weapons, they even held shields. One shot, a sound from Kong Tae-san made the monsters' eyes turn to him. They didn't have time to react, but Kong Tae-san, a guy who penetrated them, lay motionless. Kong Tae-san quickly switched to the sword and knocked out the monster in front of him. A notification sounds, you deal 10 damage to Goberlin. The remaining Goberlins surrounded him. Another shot, Kong Tae-san captured another guy. A Goberlin was paralyzed, its body falling down. Ghosts are difficult to understand. Hey, why are you doing this? Shoot the paralysis arrow, hit it, then repeat over and over again. In that case, you only aimed at one Goberlin. Do you have any grudge against it? Kong Tae-san swung his banana knife and shot again. The ghost frowned, are you planning on doing that to learn skills? Kong Tae-san is cold, mind your own business. The ghost continued, so to speak, ignorance only harms the body. Sorry, but you're just wasting your time. There are no skills that can be learned from that. Kong Tae-san replied, yes, it's also a very good skill. As he spoke, he continued to pull out his bow and arrow. The ghost immediately became enthusiastic. Hey, do you know how wrong I went? 85 floors, 85, I know everything. Kong Tae-san said as he strangled a Goberlin. So do you want to bet? If I don't get the skill, I will make a puppet for you. I will do anything you want, even if it means dying. On the contrary, if I win, you must answer my questions honestly. The ghost shouted once and then replied. What a tough bastard. Someone who just entered the labyrinth wants to bet with me in exchange for information. Okay. I agree. I will conquer the title of Achilles of the great kingdom of Carvert. If you win, I will answer your questions. No lies. But if I win, you will make a rule for me. Kong Tae-san curled his lips. Okay, don't go back on your word.